The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this LeBronversation Wednesday, March 26, 2025. This program starts now.
Big day!
That it is. Obviously, we are incredibly lucky that we get to talk about the sports world every single day. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this. It is literally a dream job. And just yesterday, we got a chance to catch up with a dream guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I think a lot of people have been seeking or hoping for a long time. If you host a talk show, having conversation with notable human beings is like a part of the gig. Getting a chance to talk to these greats is a dream part of the gig, to get to learn from the people, to get to kind of meet the people that you know and the people that kind of make the world run and the sports world kind of drive day to day. We are incredibly lucky that we get to chat with these people, and we take every single opportunity and we try to hold it with the most amount of gratitude and appreciation that could possibly be had, because not everybody just has time to come talk to a bunch of dumbasses. Like, for instance, for LeBron here, he's playing the Pacers tonight, and he'll get to the arena shortly here, and we'll learn about that in the conversation we had with him. He flew in yesterday after the show ended, drove from the airport to the Thunderdome, which is like hour drive, because we're on the opposite side of where the international airport is. So flight from wherever comes in, long time, hops in black SUV, drives an hour around the city to get to where we are, and then comes in here and spends 2-3 hours and an hour and 15 minutes chit-chatting with us on the show. And I saw a bunch of people say, well, why isn't it live? Why is that? He's in the middle of a basketball season. He's got a game tonight against the Indiana Pacers. And the fact that he took any amount of time out of his life at this stage of everything to come chat with us, incredibly thankful. We covered damn near everything. Damn near everything in this chatter. And obviously, we're going to run it just straight through. So it's an hour and about 12, hour and 15 minutes, uncut. There's some pictures that have been put on top of it. But I think this is going to be a convo where you're going to learn more about a man who has been a superstar since he was a kid. Than maybe ever. I don't want to do too much, but I think we learn a lot about this guy, and we're so incredibly thankful. The Talks Table is here. Bruce Brown sitting in for Boston Connor, who traveled back home with Talk for the rest of the week. Send some love to Connor and Talk for sure. At Ty Schmidt here. Ty, it was a big convo.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, you mentioned it. We've done so many cool things, but for whatever reason, and you didn't even get, like he was so comfortable when he got in here, which was so awesome, but, like, you didn't even have the chance to really be, like, starstruck. Like, I mean, you said it. Been watching LeBron for my entire adult life, since I was, like, 12 years old. It was incredible. It was by far one of the coolest things we've ever done.
I've seen him on the court, obviously. I've seen him on TV. I've seen him play much taller than
For sure.
He's so tall.
Yeah.
9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. He's so tall.
Yeah.
And I think you go watch the games, and all the NBA guys are standing next to the guys. You know? And we talk about how big LeBron is. Like, LeBron's 6'8", 6'9". This guy's huge. Then he walks in, it's like, oh yeah, he is fucking gigantic. This guy is a tall lad. Also, just like the way he operated was like so cool, like just human, you know? And I thought that was incredibly impressive of him, because he's walking into a building he does not know. into a bunch of people that he's never met before. And he was welcoming and cool with everybody. And it did feel like from moment one, it was like, oh, we're going to have a great convo here.
A great convo, like you said, super comfortable, almost like you were in a locker room or a barbershop, just shooting the shit, more open than I've really seen him. On any platform that outside of any platform that he's on, obviously the shop and other things like that, he's mind the game and things like that you hear him speak, with no cut. So it was great. So, I can't wait to rewatch it because having the conversation was one thing, but now being able to rewatch, I'm sure I missed some things. And you mentioned it. We kind of hit on most things that, you would ask if you had a conversation with Bron, and he was pretty open about it. You mentioned he's been, in the spotlight since he was 15, 16 years old, and he's kind of around our age, but he's had to deal with so much before us and be on such a bigger stage. So it's going to be dope to see. I think it'll be dope for the people to see, and I think it'll be a lot of things taken from it going forward.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of reaction.
I think that's safe to say.
I think
Yeah.
I think the internet is about to eat because of everything that happens here. Now, before we get to that, couple quick NFL notes. Let's go to one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tone. AP Tone, you know how I know Russell Wilson isn't going to be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
How's that?
Because Russell Wilson is now a member of the New York Football Giants. Unbelievable. $10.5 million guaranteed on a one-year deal, up to $21 million in incentives. Obviously, we saw a rebirth of Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh last year. It didn't end the way anybody wanted it to end, but I think he showcased the fact that he still got it. Daboll not only brings in Jameis Winston a couple weeks ago, now brings in Russell Wilson. They were in on Matthew Stafford. They were in on Aaron Rodgers. The New York Giants understand the situation over there. We got to win now. We need a veteran quarterback that's going to be able to do so. They have two in their quarterback room with Tommy Cutledge also hanging out as the third stringer. Good luck to Daboll. Good luck to Russell Wilson. Malik Neighbors has a new quarterback in the building, and actually a couple of them. Also news, Stephon Diggs takes a trip up to New England. He is now a member of the New England Patriots. Last year was on the Houston Texans, got injured, but I guess he's back fully healthy, they're saying.
Well, I wouldn't say fully healthy.
Okay,
he is moving well, running routes, pulling sleds, doing full workouts down there with Dr. Reeve. He trains down in South Florida. He's always been a worker. He's always been a grinder. And Drake May, who was he compared to during the draft process coming out? Like a lot of young, big, athletic quarterbacks are compared to Josh Allen. And obviously Stephon Diggs played a huge role in Josh Allen's development to become the MVP quarterback that he is now. So I'm sure Mike Vrabel wants to see that same jump with Drake May's play. So getting a professional wide receiver who's used to being the guy, getting open, catching balls in big moments, I think this is a pretty good move from New England. And salary-wise, it kind of looks like a one-year deal if they want to get out of it after 1 year, and also good money for Stephon if he can make it work and stay there in New England.
In the Vrabel culture, we assume Stephon Diggs will be able to just jump right in. I think a lot of people in Houston, his teammates have come out and said how much they enjoyed being his teammate whenever the conversation, obviously, with Buffalo went the way it did, Minnesota went the way it did. Teammates have come out and said positive things about Stephon Diggs, and obviously, as a football player, he is an absolute dog. But Russell Wilson goes to the Giants, Stephon Diggs goes to the Patriots. Who's the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tone?
Right now, it's goateed Mason Rudolph, and we are just, waiting on Aaron.
Okay, all right. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers still making his decision. Let's assume that comes at some point relatively soon because it's going to have to. Speaking of all of the soonness that needs to take place, we need to showcase the greatest conversation we've ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a chance to catch up with the king yesterday. It is time for the debut of the LeBronversation. Ladies and gentlemen, GOAT. And I would say child stars, okay? Nobody ever talks about that. Been famous since a teenager. Basketball, obviously. And life as a whole, fucking dominating through and through. Just a kid from Akron, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James. LeBron James!
I appreciate it, man. Definitely been seeing you guys up in here, man. So it's great to come here and be in the studio with you guys.
I told you, as soon as you pulled up out there, I walked outside, black SUV pulls up, turns around, your door opens, and literally I go, holy shit, you're actually here. I thought this was all bullshit. Thank you for taking time and coming and visiting and chatting with us. We're obviously massive fans, dude. I'm 37 years old. Obviously, you're a little bit older than me, but watching you, because I have, because my demo in high school was the one that was watching you dominate. You actually came to Pittsburgh, beat the Pennsylvania All-Stars, which is your high school team. And the whole story. So I've followed your entire career. Massive fan of yours. Thank you for doing this.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me, man.
Okay,
it's going to be fun.
Let's talk talk about it. You're 40 years old now.
Yes, sir.
You've been in the league 22 years, longer than you were not in the league. You're in the league.
Right.
And you're playing like you're one of the best seasons you've ever had.
Yeah.
Why is that, you think? Is it comfort? Is it what is it about this year?
I mean, I think obviously I've been in the game for a while, so I kind of know what to expect. And, obviously, one, you got to take care of your body, but more importantly, you got to take care of your mind. Being a professional athlete, if your mind is not as sharp as possible or as clear as possible, then you're not going to be able to perform at a high level. I think, seeing what our team is capable of doing, even before, the big acquisition of picking up Luka, I thought we had a good chance of making a good run. So I wanted to make sure that I was there, not only physically, but also mentally and just give to the season. But I felt pretty good, man, throughout the whole season. I know I had a little small injury that kept me out 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, but I'm back and I feel great.
We watched you do the sprint down the court thing. It was hilarious. You're just like 40 years old, doing the same thing you're doing whenever you're 18, 20.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about the Luka trade and we'll talk about the Lakers, but you talked about, having clarity in mind and feeling good going into the season because you knew you could go on a run. There was that say, you spent like $1 million on your body or something.
Man, I don't know where the hell that shit came from.
Okay. That's a very fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I mean, listen, man, I do take care of my body, but I have no idea where the amount of money came from. But I do invest in my body for sure, trying to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Obviously, a lot of soft tissue work, a lot of massages, a lot of hyperbaric chambers, ice tubs, ice baths. Whatever I can do to continue to play at this level, man, I'm going to continue to do what I'm playing.
You've committed your entire life to ball, right? That's safe to say?
Yeah.
And you love the sport. Is that your drive, is how much you love the sport? Or why do you think at this age you're still going as hard as you
there's no way I'd be still playing, at this level, Pat, if I wasn't in love with it or didn't commit to it. I've had an opportunity to be able to be blessed with a crazy God-given talent. And a lot of us are, to be completely honest, when you find your niche in sports, there's a lot of people that's born with unbelievable talents, but it's literally the ones that really commit to their craft and literally commit to the sport in general. Being able to pour yourself into it is what you're going to get out of it too. So I figured, when I knew I had a gift at like 13, 14, that I was out there on the court and I was running past guys and jumping higher and, making passes and doing things that the other 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds wasn't doing. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, shit,
this could be it?
This could be it. Yeah. This could be it. And, I'm living in, Section 8 housing. It's me and my mom. We trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh, shit, if I commit to this, I can figure it out. I can figure it out for not only myself, but for my mom, get out of the inner city and make something out of it. So, big time for sure.
And your friends. You've taken care of everybody. And I think that is one of the things that I love the most. We have Rich on here multiple times. I love Rich. He's been very good to us, but just like the way you take care of your people, the way you've kind of done everything is admirable. It never gets talked about, obviously.
No, I appreciate it.
And the chatter that surrounds you, since you have been a guy since you were 13, and I remember the Hummer story and the shoe deals and everything back then. What's going on now with the NIL? I mean, it's completely different.
Right. I mean, I could imagine if NIL was around when I was in high school, I'd have loaded up. I'd have loaded up big time for sure.
Well, I think you already were, which is part of the problem.
Right.
But literally, since that you were a superstar, since you're like a teenager, as soon as you get in the NBA, obviously the chosen one, here we go, this is it, you're in Cleveland, you immediately start getting compared to like greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And as a person that's in sports, and we are all sports fans, we saw that happen. I assume at the beginning, massive compliment? Is that a massive compliment?
No, it was. I can remember like my first game, when I watched the replay, my first game on national television, it was like, will he be one of the one-name guys that ever played this game? It was like, they used like Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Jordan, all these first-name guys.
Shaq.
And then at the end, it was like LeBron. And I'm like, fuck, I'm 17 years old. I was like, what the hell is this? Why you guys are giving me this already? It's like, I haven't done anything. And it's like, it was a compliment to be able to be, in the names of those guys, but it was also like super fucking scary and intimidating too. It was like, I'm just a small kid from Akron, Ohio. I don't even know what.
Well, very tall, and at that point, I think you were a little bit more jacked at the time because the game called for it. But whenever you talk about it being a scary situation, you never let that image out publicly. And I think none of us ever saw you being scared. None of us ever saw you like kind of flapped at all. You were an unflappable force.
Yeah.
And you've been in the public eye for so long. I think you would probably admit that you probably fucked some things up on the way, but you haven't really.
Right.
You're like and I said it earlier, child star, like most people, especially you talk about Section 8 housing, coming from nothing to everything, being in the public eye, at some point that is going to collapse a human.
Yeah, for sure.
For you, it feels like it hasn't. And there's been a lot of things said. There's been a lot of fires that you've been put into, either you walked into yourself or thrown into. Why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because your mom? Do you think it's because what?
I mean, obviously, I give her a lot of credit for the way she raised me, the way she taught me, the things that she was able to instill in me. It was also me just looking at her, the way she moved and the way how determined she was to be able to make my life better, even with the circumstances that we were growing up in. So I give her a lot of credit. I had some little league coaches too that taught me about not only just playing the game and teaching me the game of basketball, but also being a young man, throughout my small adolescent years. And then just like, to be completely honest, like I didn't want to fuck my opportunity up. I knew that the statistics for an inner city black kid to be able to be in a position that I was in, especially from my hometown, it never ever happens.
Never.
It never
works out either.
It never happens, and if it does happen, it never works out. It was I want to throw him under the bus, but the only inspiration like we had was like Jerome Lane, the guy who like dunked and shattered the backboard that played for Pittsburgh. He was from Akron, Ohio. Like we saw that and we was like, oh shit, that's an inspiration. And then I went through high school, and all my boys know this too. Like I went through high school and we was playing against the inner city kids because we went to an all Catholic high school. And fucking Jerome Lane was like hating on us. I was like, oh, this motherfucker. Like he's back in Akron hating on us, like going against us. And I'm like, oh shit, you was like our only inspiration. We like looked up to you. And I was like, you know what? I can't fuck this opportunity up, man. If I get the opportunity to make it, I got to do what I have to do to put my city on, to represent my last name on my back, man, my family, my friends, and also like it's sport. Sport has given us so much. I mean, I look around here. I mean, fucking baseballs and NFL helmets and basketball jerseys and like
luchador masks.
Like seriously, like a putt thing. Like seriously, like it's given us so much. So like I couldn't mess the opportunity up.
Well, you've done. Hey, I think you figured it out. You've done good. Now we'll see what's left. Now the conversation is how many years is he going to play? You look like you could probably play forever. Debo has a question for you.
Facts. Kind of on that note, and one of the things people got on you about was when you went to Miami. You made the decision to go to Miami. I know some great things behind that as well. Me, lifelong Miami Heat fan, I loved it. But what was it like coming down there, winning your first championship, and what was that kind of load lifted off your back? 'Cause you talk about being amongst the one-name guys. Championships obviously got to come with that. So what was that like going down there and getting that done? Yeah,
I mean, listen, my aspiration was a lot bigger than just, winning MVPs and, being an all-star and, whatever all the individual things is. Before I even got to the NBA, I've always won. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter which level you win on. If you're in a winning environment, that shit carries on throughout the rest of your life. My first year ever playing organized sports, I won a Little League football championship that year, and then backed it up with a basketball championship. Undefeated season. My second year, we did the same thing, and I was league MVP in basketball and football. Through middle school championships, through high school, I won 3 state championships. I was just always born winner, and I knew how to win because of the culture that I was around. I knew how it was supposed to be done. And at that moment, my 7 years in Cleveland, I had some good years, obviously, some great years. One, was able to take the team to the NBA Finals. I was 22 years old. I had a moment in Detroit where I went insane, 25 straight, 29 out of 30, and took a team that you look back at our roster, you're like, what the hell? How was that even possible?
There's a lot of those, brother. We don't want to dive into all of them. You were at the finals 45 straight years.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it got to the point that final season, I was like, I've maximized this potential. Yeah. I've squeezed all the juice out of this damn lemon here. Mm-hmm. And I know it. And in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I have to make a choice for my career going forward. And Miami was the best choice, at that moment. I felt like it was the best choice for me. The conversation I had with D Wade, had with Bosh, had with Udonis Haslam. D Wade and UD had been there. They had won, had beat Dallas. They had been in some big playoff matchups with Detroit, where Detroit beat them and then they beat Detroit, and things of that nature. And then you look at the big four that Boston had. Everybody talk about the big three. But everybody always decides that for some odd reason that Rondo wasn't as great as Rondo was.
Yeah,
it's always just the big three.
He's from Boston.
Not me.
LeBron's always saying
they say
that.
the big three, but fucking Rondo was when he was a dog. He brought it all. He made it all work with those guys because Ray wasn't bringing the ball up. You had Ray flying around. You had Paul when he get it at a certain spot, and Paul was a killer. And then you had KG was anchoring the defense, and also you throw it to the low post. But they all started with the mind, and that was with Rondo. So for me to go down to Miami, man, one, it was a terrifying experience for me. You got to think, I don't know a lot of people know, it's the first time I ever left my hometown. I was 25 years old. You got mad. My first 7 years, even though I played for Cleveland, I still lived in Akron. So for 25 straight years, I was
awesome house. You had an awesome house. We've seen that. That's a great house.
So I'm comfortable. That is my comfort. My comfortability is being in Akron, Ohio. I drive 30 minutes to Cleveland, I play my games, and then I shoot right back down to Akron, and I'm good. So for the first time, it's like I've always used the analogy, like I felt like this was my college moment. I didn't go to college, so like going to Miami was my moment to basically get out the house with my parents. I was going off to college, and I learned a lot, man. And 2 championships, four finals appearances, 2 more MVPs, and things that I can always look back on and say it was a hell of an experience.
And you guys were the Heatles. You guys were selling out everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, while we on that, you mentioned you didn't wait, and I forget which one of them it was, but they told a story about Pat Riley fucking with your cookie.
Yes.
That's a real story? Yeah. Is that a real story?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
It's a true story. Now, like Riles wasn't like Riles was on the plane and I was about to get my cookies and Riles snatched them out of my hand. You know how stories can become a little bit. They kind of build to Sasquatch at some point. Yep. But it was. I mean, I was. There was a time where everyone knows I fucking love chocolate chip cookies. It's like my my biggest vice.
Is it specific?
No, it was literally the plane that we were getting on. The ladies on the plane were making chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, homemade.
So they knew.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so they were making them and bringing them because we had the same ladies all the time. It was a party of 6. They were rotating every time. They knew I loved chocolate chip cookies, so they would get on and I would. Hey, soft with a little crispy edge.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And I would get on, and they already knew. They'd bring me 2 cookies, and I'll get the gambling with the guys, and I got my cookies, and we good. And then one flight I got on, I looked at them, and they looked at me, and I'm like, that look didn't look familiar. And I asked him, I was like, we got the? He was like, no, we're not allowed to, no more cookies on these flights.
What?
And we all know where it came from. I looked at D-Wade. D-Wade looked at me. He was like, basically, without even saying, he was like, fucking Riles done it again. Riles strikes again. I was like, damn.
So what was it like down there? Because they talk about the Miami Heat culture and Pat Riley and it being, and obviously him just saying no more cookies.
Yeah, they be
it's LeBron's cookies.
He don't give a fuck. One thing about Riles, he don't give a fuck about nothing. Listen, if it ain't about that heat shield and covering that heat culture, he don't. We see what's going on now. Well, not anymore, but with Jimmy and it was at one point where. Even I left, and it was time for D-Wade to get paid, and he didn't want to pay D-Wade, and D-Wade left. I was like, when that happened, I was like, when Wade County had to leave and go to Chicago, I looked at the cookie situation. I was like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't that bad.
I was like, cookies.
Yeah, I was like, okay, fuck it. D-Wade's millions and my cookies. I was like, okay, maybe I made it out safe. I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Let's talk about the cultures. Because Cleveland, you talk about at the beginning of your career, making, feeling like you had to go to Miami. You obviously do that. You go back to Cleveland, win one. Hey,
man.
For hometown. That parade was bananas.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously out at LA, what is it about JJ Redick's culture that you have felt, experienced, and obviously a couple games have not won, but 4th in the West still, on a playoff push. What is it about JJ Redick and his culture, or what you guys have right now that you like?
I think the best thing about JJ is that he's just a great podcaster.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. We learned a lot, brother.
Yeah, one of the best.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about, like, when fucking doubles here, then we round here, then we go under this. I'm
he's just a podcaster that, for some odd reason, became a head coach and all because of me. It's just the weirdest thing in the world, and those conversations have died down. But no, I think one thing about JJ, man, he bleeds the game and he breathes the game of basketball every single day. He's one of those guys that it's kind of just like me. Like if we lose a game or we didn't play up to par, there's no such thing as sleeping that night. There's no such thing of sleeping into the next match, into the next game. And he's just determined to, like, he's a dickhead.
Yeah, gotta be.
And I love it. And when I was a kid, I used to watch Duke. Now I realize it. I hated Duke when I was growing up. And then when I got a little older and I started playing with Coach, I started matching up with Coach K. We played with I played with him for Team USA. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, I see why he's great. I see why I hated JJ Redick. I see why I hated Shane Battier. And then Shane came over to us in Miami and helped us win a championship. I was like, I see it. Yep. He's like the greatest guys / dickheads that you ever meet.
Is that all from Coach K, you think? JJ has a lot of Coach K in?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. He's just, he's meant for it. And there's just some things that can't be explained, but when you got the it factor, it's just like, oh yeah,
Does he still shoot ever? Is he ever still like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. He'll let us know for sure.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about a guy who made a shot the other day in warm-ups that was, I don't know how, it defied physics, I think. Luka, he did this shot up over. From
the complete opposite.
Yeah, and then I don't know how that works, actually. Like science, I don't know how. But then he'll do one off the fucking Jumbotron. Yeah, here it is right here. You've seen this, obviously, I assume.
Yeah,
yes.
I've seen
He probably does this type of stuff every single day. What has it been like being his teammate? And I think it was the first game. There was, you guys were calling it up or whatever, and you looked at Luka, and it was a big deal because you said, you don't change a damn thing. We'll change for you, actually, is what you said, and then broke it down. I think it was a big deal for people to hear you say, but also, obviously Luka as well. What has it been like, and why do you guys have such good chemistry?
His name is Luka Magic for a reason, and you see that. You see his play on the game. He's a very transcendent player, and if you talk about that moment. You got to think. I can't put myself in his shoes because I've never been traded before, but I can have a sense and be a human being to know you commit to a franchise for 7 years and you feel like, this is the place where I'm gonna be. This is my comfort. I talk about my comfort before I went to Miami, and then out of nowhere, bam, you just get traded. I don't give a damn where you're going. It doesn't matter who you're pairing with. That's a shock to your system. Oh, yeah. It's a shock to your system. And, even though, he was ready to play, that moment I feel like that had to be said because he is still that guy. Mm-hmm. In order for us to reach our potential, he has to be that guy. He has to fit out, and we'll figure it out. Let us figure it out with you, because we need you to be who you are. But it's definitely, I lost a dear friend and a great friend and a champion, duo with AD. Miss him to death, and but we was able to gain Luka Magic, and I think both sides will.
A lot of people thought you two wouldn't be able to work together because ball dominant, LeBron James too much of a prima donna.
Yeah, that's right.
Not gonna let Luka come in and do the Luka shit.
And
they won't be able to figure it out.
Yeah, it must be the idiots that don't know the game of basketball. Oh my goodness, there's so many of those guys out there right now.
I would say your league, you, and your league has the most absurd chatter.
Oh my goodness.
It really does.
It is every single day. And then you realize, you was like, I'll be looking at it and I hear it, I'm like, those guys a lot of those guys that played the game or did not play the game, it was just they played the game while they were talented. I don't think they ever thought the game. Mm-hmm. I don't think they were ever smart. I just think they were bigger and stronger and maybe faster at the time, and they dominated. And when it was over, it was over. They don't. That's why I'm able to still play at fucking 40 years old.
Well, that's what everybody talks about.
Yeah, my mind is just like I can play the game because I can outthink the guys out there. And as my athleticism has went down a notch, not a lot, but a notch.
Slow. Don't you look fat too?
As my athleticism has went down a notch, like I'm able to still bring up other facets of my game to be able to still, do what I need to do every single night. But the talking heads of our sport, oh my goodness.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Especially for you. I mean, you're in a much different situation than maybe any other human in history of sports, if I had to guess. And like I said, at the beginning, it's a compliment, though. Like, they're immediately telling this teenager that we need to talk about him as if he is Michael Jordan, who obviously transcended the sport, changed the sport forever, and everything like that. But then it gets to the point where it's like, hey, this is a real conversation, and it almost immediately becomes divisive. Do you? So this is an interesting concept here. You probably lost a lot of trust in media, I would assume, because of the things that happened. Not just what was said on TV, but what it led other people to probably think they should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it all started with the decision. The decision really like had me like sit back and like, because people literally like, I give a moment. So the decision, you know, it was brought to me to be able to, you know, do something cool on TV, you know, do a kind of college style. And like I said, never had went to college. I was like, you know, this would be pretty cool.
Put a hat on.
Make the decision, put the hat on, but also, you know, raise $2.5 million for a great cause, you know, and also be able to, you know, make it cool. And the funniest thing is, from that moment, it was December 2nd, 2010 was my first game back to Cleveland. So I stay at the hotel, stay at the Ritz downtown in Cleveland. And this one I knew that it was, people did not even really care or didn't even understand the situation. They just wanted to be a part of the nonsense. I hit the elevator to go downstairs to the bus, catch the bus, to go over to, I think it was the Q, the Quicken Loans Arena then. And the elevator opens, and it's two guys, random guys on the elevator. You guys can always pull this up. They used to have these FUKLBJ T-shirts, black T-shirts, red letters. And I see the two guys, they see me, they say, oh my fucking God. Oh, no, listen, this is, man, we love you so much, man. We're just here for the spectacle, man. We're just here for the spectacle. Like, seriously, we love you, man, and have a good get. And the elevator door closed. I was like,
those are two white dudes, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because we're outnumbered right now.
Now we're all together, brother. We're all together.
It was like, oh my God, man, we fucking love you, man. Like, oh shit, don't. And the elevator closed. I was like, you know what? This is all part of the spectacle, and it's about to get haywire.
So the decision, you think, is whenever the conversation kind of changed a little bit about you?
Yeah, because they just needed something. They needed something. Everything was so positive. You know, and and I gave them no reason to make it negative.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking up.
But they needed anything. You know, I'm doing everything I need to do on the court. I'm not out on the streets. I'm not being caught in all the bullshit that doesn't respect the game and respect my craft. It was like, oh, you decided to go on TV and make a decision for your career. Oh, we got you. We got it. We finally got it. We finally made a little chink in the armor.
We got something. It's selfish.
Oh, it's selfish. Yeah. You selfish mother. Yeah.
And then that caught a little bit of fire, right? Because a lot of people don't like seeing people that are successful in anything, especially if somebody is taking happiness from them and their team, which you were doing, obviously, with the Cavs. And then that just you're saying from that moment is when until, which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh yeah,
you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, you would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's. And like he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. You know, and I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about him again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair in his tighty whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance.
Like,
but you're right.
Dude, like relax, bro. Like relax. Like seriously, just
How do you feel about the way the game is covered and you players are covered? Because this is a big topic of conversation with the NBA. We have Tyrese Halliburton who comes through. We love Tyrese.
Oh, he's
the man.
Tyrese loves you too.
Tyrese is great. Love that guy.
So Tyrese gave me the heads up, like, hey, LeBron coming on your show is a massive ordeal because like everybody in the NBA like does look up like LeBron is our guy. Like I think Pat Beverly told the story down at the bubble whenever everybody was like, we need to take a stand and yada yada yada. And then I think he was the person who went up and said, hey, you, if you're fucking playing, we're all playing. If you're not playing, we're not playing. But I think that's how everybody in the league feels about you. So congrats on that, by the way. The respect amongst your peers.
No,
yeah,
for real.
Sure.
To have the respect for my peers, that means a lot. And I carry that, man. And I take that with a lot of responsibility because there was too many years went by when players did not have an opportunity to just speak and their voices to be heard or allow the narrative to get so much outside of sports. Like if I miss a game winner or if I don't show up in the finals, like I was supposed to versus Dallas in year 1 in Miami, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I should have been a lot better. I know. But like, don't take it to, my household or take it to what's going on and other guys. Like I seen something with Embiid where a reporter came into the locker room and started speaking about like I think his brother or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like how weird is that? Like that's so weird. Like why are we taking it to that point? Mm-hmm. And we're taking it to that point because people have gotten too comfortable. I think people in the media have gotten too comfortable, especially with our sport. They got too comfortable where, back in the day, like for sure, you would never bring up Charles Oakley's brother.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley will smack you through his brother.
Bernie Maxwell.
All right. Yeah. Mad Max. Like his name was Mad Max for a reason. It wasn't because he picked you up 94 feet. It was because if you said something about Mad Max, like he's gonna separate your jaw. And there was no repercussions from that. Like they got to the point where they knew like, oh, these guys can't really do anything to us anymore. Because there would be a fine, suspension, and don't
embarrass the league.
And don't embarrass the league, or you now here come your sponsors. They're coming after us or coming after you, and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Like, that's when they decided they could, they thought.
So the conversation about old school basketball is a real thing, like because that's the new narrative now. Is like it's a nostalgia issue. Like a lot of people who grew up in a different era of basketball and get introduced to basketball, they're going to like that era regardless of no matter what happens in the future. You've played through what now? 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Back whenever Kuzi was doing no-look passes?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the first ever no-look pass?
Yeah, cool.
Kuzi.
Yep.
He's a dog.
Hey, he was an exciting white, wasn't he? He was an exciting white.
Sure.
He was
Kuz
one
had
of the
game. Kuz had game for sure.
Boom.
Yeah,
Thank
Kuz
you.
had game.
Yeah, but we're
Kuz had
watching
game.
these highlights, and I'll speak for you.
For that era.
Exactly. Thank you. Hey, you don't have to say this.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'll say this.
Yeah, game for that.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have an NBA team. So I was more an NHL guy, but I would watch the Lake Show at night because I couldn't sleep. So
right.
I did know the NBA, but not like I didn't follow it as closely. When I watched The Last Dance, I was watching a lot of highlights, and I was watching people dribble a ball like this. And I was like, I don't know how that works in modern basketball. I think you guys have played a couple different sports. I think there was a Kuzi era of sports where a no-look pass, holy shit. Then there was an era where people were starting to get like nasty. There's some more.
Yeah, you had some Pistol Pete Maravich. He started coming in and started, getting a little bit in that. But then the ball was hitting off guys' heads and stuff. So they looking at him like, ugh, what are you doing? Like,
never see those lowlights though. Only see the highlights. Highlights are only the bangers survive. Then obviously Jordan comes in and transforms everything. Him dunking from the foul line, massive ordeal. They made a whole fucking brand off it. He's flying. Now kids are like dunking from the 3-point line in high school. It's like it's just like the game has evolved so much. I think. But there is like a nostalgia combo that takes place with you guys. This modern era. Do you feel that? How do you address that?
No. I definitely feel it, and I think. We just have to recognize that evolution is just a part of life, man. Like, shit, you look at the Hummer from the 1970s to the Hummer of today. It's like, you're going to be like, okay, you might be nostalgic about it. You loved it in the 70s, but do you really want to drive that every day right now in 2025? You're going to get out the car and your goddamn neck and your back is going to be hurting so bad. Like, seriously, you're going to be hurting so bad. You're going to be like, okay, you know what? This might be just a Sunday chill car. Like, I drive it up the street, get some ice cream, come back home, but I can't.
Refill it because it gets 2 miles.
Yeah, exactly. I got to just start it up, let it just crank the gas for about 2 hours just to make sure it's still running. But, like, you know, like, we have to understand that. There's players and errors and things of that nature. Like, we get it. But, like, you know, you watch some of the NFL games as well from the 70s and the 80s, and you got like, you know, Jack Lambert and those guys like coming through like completely decapitating people. You know, like murder. Ronnie Lott tore his pinky off and then went to the sideline. Was like, just tear the rest of it off. I'm getting back out there. Like I get it. Like, those are nostalgic moments, but like the game is different, and we should respect all eras in that era. You know, we can't be saying, okay, just because Wilt was great in the 60s and 70s that he'll be great now. And we also can't say that some of the guys now will be great. It is what it is. Respect that era and we move on. But the whole every single day that he's better, he's not better, he wouldn't. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
I think handshake, he wouldn't be able to do it.
Giannis, neither would you. Neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would have 250 points in a game in the 70s. 250.
Is that Kuzi? When was Kuzi playing?
Kuzi's 50.
Dude, Kuzi's locking up fucking Giannis, brother.
He's saying 70s, not 50s.
And that's no disrespect. Like, it's no disrespect. But, like, seriously, like, Kyrie Irving. Like,
they would have called him a witch. They would have called him a witch.
No, they would have told Kyrie, you're not. You know how they used to tell Lou Alcindor at the time that he couldn't dunk in high school games? Yeah. They would have told Kyrie, you're not allowed to dribble anymore. That's what they would have told him. Dribbling is out rude. They would have seen that.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'9".
And how heavy are you?
I'm give or take in between 215 to 280. I don't know. Depends on the day. Okay. Depends on if you're giving my cookies or not.
Yeah. Pat Riley's like, we're tipping too close to 280. LeBron, the Heatles are becoming a heavyweight battle.
Yeah.
So 6'9".
Yeah.
Let's say you're two. You look very thin right now.
Yeah. I feel good.
So 215, 6'9", 220. Could easily get to 260 though. I think that would play in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, come on. I could play.
Just like
I would be able to play in any era. It's funny you hear some of them older guys like LeBron James couldn't play in this era.
Never been fouled by Bill Laimbeer before.
Yeah. I think I seen like Dennis Rodman say that one time. He was like, LeBron James not skilled enough. Yeah, not big enough. He's not. Doesn't weigh enough. He's not strong enough.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm like. Okay,
let's talk about you flopping all over the place. Yeah. That's why people get mad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why do you do that? Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He's the greatest of all time for us. In the conversation of the greatest of all time, the rules indicate that if you're to hit him, he gets 15.
No doubt.
Is that the same thing for you?
I wish. Because I am like literally over like the last 5-6 years while everybody's been claiming I flop all the time. I'm like in the bottom half of free throw attempts per game.
Oh, they won't give you the whistle.
You don't get the whistles.
You don't get the superstar treatment?
You know the funny thing is, I have a lot of teammates that be like, they come to the Lakers, and they be like, man, when I used to play against you, I used to think you got every goddamn call, and I hated it. And now that I'm your teammate, it's like, oh my goodness, you don't get any calls. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. Just keep playing.
No, just wait till you see me in the third quarter. I got a good flop coming. I practiced on this one last night because there's a video from The Last Dance where I think the ref says to Michael Jordan, he goes, I didn't see it, Michael. I am so sorry. I would never do it to you. And walks away. Yeah, I believe you, Michael. Yeah, that's the clip. And
I saw that. And Michael's like, oh, God damn it. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so you and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan?
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't talk.
Why not, you think?
Because I'm still playing. I think I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now.
When you're done, you think you two will be the only two that can have a conversation?
I would hope so. The funny thing is, me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either until we was on the Olympic team. We had a great relationship there. Olympic team 8, Olympic team 12. But it was always competitive between us. We were always like, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, and it was like, even though we never I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando, and I think it was 09, didn't beat Orlando and didn't get him an opportunity to play him in the finals. But like, and until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship like became really, really good.
Yeah.
He like welcomed me, called me like, bro, anything you need in LA, like I got you. You're a Laker now, you family. And we would have multiple conversations. He was obviously, you got saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And when I passed him in the scoring record in Philly, I think he had a tweet out there like, keep on going, like keep transcending the game, keep going, like, and that shit like meant so much to me. So like, I think it's because I'm still playing, and MJ's, we all know MJ. Even if you don't know him personally, he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is. And till I'm done. And he doesn't have to look at me run up and down wearing the number 23. And every time my name is mentioned with his, he's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
Yeah, I'm on a golf course. Yeah, I'm on a golf course.
Don't talk to me right now. I'm on the back nine. Do not call me.
It was great to see y'all at the top 75.
Oh yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
Yeah,
that's straight respect, admiration, and just like, me for sure. I mean, shit. Like I said, I wear 23 because of MJ. And that shit, the inspiration that he gave me as a kid in Akron, Ohio, that don't have much inspiration in your hometown. You look at something. It's got to be somebody in sports, somebody in music, somebody on the TV screen. So like Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac. That was like, that was my inspirations. You know what I'm saying? Like I needed that because I didn't have. Like
Lang.
Yeah, couldn't be fucking Jerome Lang.
Yeah.
He's like, they know me and shit. So like, you know what I'm saying?
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he's obviously had that inspiration in the home, and you talked about it since years ago, wanting to play long enough to play with your son. So you obviously visualized that. But how was the real moment with that happening? Because I know me seeing it, seeing the Griffeys there, just seeing it, like that was just an unbelievable moment. So what was that like for you, really actually being in it?
Like, seeing that pop fly head towards King Griffey Sr. and then see Junior over there right before the ball got to his glove and he snatched it out the air and run back to the dugout like laughing at his pops. Like, that was a cool ass moment. And for that moment, that game, that home opener versus Minnesota, and then just over there and see Griffey Jr., man, the kid, and seeing his pops over there and us getting that picture at half court. And then us going out on the floor and having that moment, I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
You're floating.
I'm floating, and I can
Dad right there.
I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. We haven't even talked about it yet. At some point we will, but I wasn't even there. Like I might have been in the rafters. I might have been at home. My body may have been at home watching the game, watching the moment. I completely was not there, and but damn, that was an unbelievable moment, man. For me to be able to like have that dream, be able to speak it into existence, for it to come to fruition, for my mom and my wife and my daughter and my youngest son to be there, it was like, I started thinking about everything from what the hell he went through, not less than a year before with his
he almost died?
His cardiac arrest, man.
That came out of nowhere, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere. It was a birth defect that quite honestly, if he never played sports or he never like started to become, strong and run fast and all those stuff, we probably would never have to worry about it. But as he got stronger and things of that nature, it was just something inside his heart that was just pounding at his heart and pounding at his lungs that, unfortunately, we had the incident. And thankfully, a lot of these kids we've been seeing a lot lately in sports, not only in basketball but in football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we was able to catch it. And to all the families out there that haven't had the opportunity to catch their kids before it gets to the point where they're not here anymore, like. To see that happen to Bronny and for him to be able to play that same year after that happened, at USC, and then less than a year later be drafted by the Lakers, and then in that fall we go out there together. So that's why I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we walked in together, but I was not there.
That's a dad moment. That's really cool.
Yeah,
People forget, you're only one name now, LeBron, but you're still a human too. And I assume seeing, your baby boy, get a chance to experience his dream. Then obviously that led to the thing with Stephen A. talking about him and how critical everybody has been of Bronny. And I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
His whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very... I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all, and I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah, man.
Because there's a bunch of rumors about Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft him, we'll send him to Australia. Like, there's a lot of those types of things happening. Allegedly, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm, like LeBron James is bullying, blah, 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 blah. Everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. And he does start out a little bit rough NBA-wise. But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League. I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA last week. He's obviously getting better and better. You have to be loving every moment. And how proud of Bronny are you for what he's going through?
Listen, for me as a dad, it doesn't matter if he never scores, ever. For me as a dad, I'm just super proud of him, period, as a young man. For me, as a mentor and as a teammate of his, and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work he's put into the game, I am super proud of his development to where he is now. From the moment that, he was drafted in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed, and I just think I had a good friend of mine, who went through a cardiac arrest as well. And he told me that, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with going back to performing. It was like, if it happened, it's over with.
Well, let's not roll the dice.
Yeah, we're not rolling the dice. There was not enough data on it. It's like, you have a cardiac arrest, it is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm going to be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, my mind, and, he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, and he's like, it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's because of his determination and his will to want to get better and his will to, like, I don't really care what y'all saying. I hear it. He did an article the other day. He was like, yeah, I hear the noise. I use it as motivation, but I also know what I'm capable of. And, I've always told my kids, like, all of them, they all play sports. 2 basketball players. My youngest son going to Arizona. On a full ride. My daughter's
What is he, 7 foot tall, by the way? That came out of nowhere. Bryce, right?
Yeah.
He popped up out of nowhere. Because we follow your family on the internet, obviously. We see it all. And it's like Bronny, okay, and then Lil Bryce. Lil Bryce with the glasses.
Right, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, one video popped up of an offseason, and Bryce.
And Bryce taller than Bronny.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So he on his way to Arizona. My daughter's, she's playing 12 and under volleyball. She just turned 10. So, like, and I just tell him, like, it doesn't matter about the noise. That's going to happen. It's only about, like, if you love it, go out and practice. If you think you want to, if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So, super proud of Bronny, man. I know, very long-winded when you talk about the kids. I just start thinking about them, but super proud of his game and where he is today. Starting off the G League season with, like, just trying to figure it out, and now, shit, like you said last night, 39. And more than anything, when I talked to him, he was more pissed off at the technical free throw that he missed more than anything. He's like, I could have had a 40 burger. He said, I could have had a 40 ball, and I missed that damn technical free throw. So, man, the kid is he's awesome.
He's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is, and the story has gotten so loud, and I think that's why, listening to you talk, and you say you get long-winded about the kid, it's like, well, that's why everything happened. That happened a couple weeks ago. But, like, you playing with him, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean,
very possible.
That is.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah,
oh, my
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And you said you're 215, nowhere near 280. You're in the best shape.
Exactly.
The best shape you've been in. That conversation's loud about now. About how many more does LeBron James have? I think fans. I think the league. I bet you Adam Silver is wondering the same exact thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of what you've done for the league, for how long you've done it. That convo pops up every year. Is
Yeah.
it for you too, or is it just for outside people?
No, it's popping up more and more every year because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the hill than the previous side, So I've done this for a long time, and then obviously I know it start like, okay, now you get to the top of that roller coaster, and it's like, okay, when is this damn roller coaster going to go down?
Kennywood, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I understand that. So I don't know, man. It's all about, for real, for me, it's my mind. If I could continue to, I am all about the process. Like, I am all about the process, and if it gets to the point where I don't feel like showing up to the arena 5 hours in advance, or I don't feel like training, or I don't feel like studying the scout sheet of guys. Like, if it gets to that point, like, I know, like, you know what, Bron, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you will be personally.
Yeah.
5 hours before the game, you're showing up every day?
Yeah, 7:30 the game. I'm usually there around 2:15.
What do we got? We got a cold tub. We're drinking putting some wine on our feet. Sure. What are we doing?
We're doing a little bit of everything for sure. I'm some wine, drink a little wine too.
Oh, I saw you walk into the game. Remember the big booze bag?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy was walking in with the wine to the game. Yeah, I remember that. Mailed it in. LeBron's quit. Showing up drunk. Everything you do is talked about.
Yeah, I had one former Laker. I wasn't even playing. It was preseason. I had worked out before the game. I wasn't playing, and like a former Laker, I was on the bench, like, eating fruit. Like, I worked out. I got a shower. Let me get out here to watch the guys, support the guys during a preseason game. It's like year fucking 20 for me, probably. Why am I even going out here for a preseason game? But I'm a good guy, and I love my teammates, and I'm a good teammate. So I go out there, and the next day I wake up as a fucking Laker guy, play for the Lakers. I know you guys are going to look this up. It's like,
everybody.
Look this up. Like, that's very selfish, LeBron. Why is he over there eating fruit? What are you doing? He could have did that in the back, or he could have had that at home. I'm like, bro, I'm literally just trying to, like, replenish everything I just lost in my workout in the weight room and in the back that you didn't see, but you worried about me about a damn bowl of fruit.
Everything.
You're not being committed is the conversation. That is LeBron James. This guy's not committed. Not committed.
Like I had a steak and eggs over there or some shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Something to think about.
Delicious.
That might be next. Give him something to really think about.
Yeah, a little protein in there. Connor, massive Boston Celtics fan, has a question for you.
Yeah. Who's Boston Celtics fan? Try and get if you can. Who knows? This might not be the year, but looking at the league and looking forward, the big convo is once LeBron is gone, who is the face of the league? Everyone's talking about the face of the league. As a Celtics fan, of course, I say, like, why doesn't Jason Tatum get more love? But even talking about the future, when for you did you become the face of the league? Like, what year was it? Obviously, right away you're getting talked about as a one-name guy. But when did you feel like, okay, this is officially my league? Like, I am taking over this entire.
You know what? I never had that notion. And never like woke up like, after I brushed my teeth, was like, this is my league. I'm the face of the league. God damn it.
Shinies up.
I'm going to shine these up. But I did know there was a responsibility put on me to carry the league in a certain fashion. You got to think that like before I entered the league, and like right after MJ retired, after he came back the second or third time, he came back and he was done with Washington. There was a big fan player separation with our league. They just wasn't resonating with a lot of the players, or a lot of guys was didn't really care, or whatever the case may be. And I felt like in order for myself to make a name for myself, obviously I knew the play was going to take care of itself because I knew how much I committed to it, but also I wanted to handle the responsibility of showing a face of the league in the sense of like a modern citizen, being a role model. It was, we have guys who, didn't want to be a role model to the sport, or didn't want to be a role model to the game, didn't want to appreciate the game or commit to the game. And I felt like, I had an opportunity to not only play the game that I love, but also I wanted fans to follow me. I wanted people to follow my journey. And what came out of that was me kind of being, I guess, people say the face of the league.
Yeah, the Sprite commercials.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I never went out to be like, I want to be the face of the league. Like, you know, I see a lot of shit, too. Like, I seen Brian Windhurst on one of these shows not too long ago. Like a clip.
Wendy. Yeah, you played over high school.
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school.
This guy was like, you know, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird. But
wait,
Wendy,
isn't that
you know, like
that's not real.
Yeah, he was our enforcer, huh?
Knew it.
Yeah, he went on his show and said, you know, like, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, the fuck I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood the next day I signed that contract. Like, and ultimately, my whole thing is like, what do I want to wear off the court? It's like, I want to wear fucking Nikes. Like, I want to wear Jordans. I want to wear pennies. I want to wear Bo Jacksons. I want to wear Air Maxes. I want to wear, like, you know, so.
Primes.
Like, you know, like, what are we talking about? So, like, I knew there was a responsibility for sure. Like, listen, man, during the ball drop, you know, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was. Just,
whoa! What are you saying? Don't you feed
Wemby with the Spurs?
Oh my God! Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. You know, Derrick Rose to the Bulls. Like, I understand the assignment, guys. I had to make sure that, you know, I had to do my part. I didn't want to be a fuck up. I just didn't want to be a fuck up, man. Like I said earlier in the show, like, no one gets this opportunity, man. It's 0 to none, and I couldn't be a fuck up. So that's what came with it.
You've done a great job representing it all. Do you feel like we are at a phase, though, and you talked about before you got in the league, there was like a potential disconnect between the players and the fans.
Yeah.
Felt like that was almost starting to happen again until, I don't want to say, back half of this season feels like most momentum you guys have had in a while. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I agree with that. I think it's all just understanding, you know, from a player perspective. And also, we're getting closer to playoffs. You know, it's a long-ass season, man. You know, the difference between us and the NFL, man, there's so much excitement, but it's one game a week, and you get an opportunity to get excited, like when, you know, that Sunday or you got Thursday night games now. And,
Monday.
I mean, shit, even occasion Saturday game.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Christmas. They took Christmas.
Yeah, they took Christmas from you guys.
Christmas. Like, okay, it's like the fucking Grinch. Like, but no, in all seriousness, like, you know, it's one game a week, so you like, you know, the excitement, you know, is there. So, you know, you have us, you know, we just came out of playing 6 games in 8 days. You know, 6 games in 8 days is like, oh man, and 3 sets of back-to-back. So, but the playoffs is on its way. The weather is getting better. The excitement is getting, you know, the crunch time is like, you know, in the West is, you know, you got 4 or 5 teams, 1 or 2 games from behind each other, you know. So I think the connection is coming back. Everyone loves it. And now you got March Madness going on in college basketball.
You follow?
So I'm going to be honest. No, I don't follow, man. I don't do the brackets. I love the sport. I watch occasionally some games, but it's hard watching college basketball for me, man.
Different sport.
Yeah, it's a different
sport. Than what you guys play?
Yeah, it's a different sport from when we play. And you know, every time a kid drives, you know, a kid can just come out of nowhere and slide up underneath him, and it's always a charge. You can't do a Euro step, it's a travel.
Well, Derek Queen, actually, kid from Maryland, I don't know if you saw that.
Gather step, I love it. Take that ball, gather 1-2 off glass, game time. You know, and I just don't, you know, you shouldn't need 35 seconds to shoot the damn basketball. You know, it's, you know, but it's, you know, it's the game.
I hate 2 halves. Why is that a thing?
Yeah, the only sport, right? The only level.
But women's went to 4 quarters, right? Yeah. What do we want 2 halves for? It's long. It's so. I don't want to watch 1 half.
Yeah, it's too.
It's too long. It's long.
It's long, and then they got to stack the timeouts because of commercials too. Whenever the gameplay, like I think the 4 quarters kind of helps TV as well.
It does.
You know,
it does, and it helps the players too. Like it's 4 quarters and. It's too long. You get a kid who gets 2 fouls in the first half. He can't play again. He's sitting over there for an hour of real time. Like, you know, it's like you don't want to see your favorite player in college because that's what the game is built on. Like you get your favorite player. Like if Cooper Flagg right now gets 2 fouls in the first half, you're like, I don't I don't want to watch this Duke game anymore.
Do you feel like this next generation, because Wemby is obviously
He's a stud.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
But this is, I mean, Joker is also, 6'11", whatever it is. KD obviously says he's not 7 foot, feels like he is.
And then he's always taller than everybody at the All-Star Weekend photos for some odd reason.
But he obviously, whenever he came into the league, and I think Dirk, also big shooter, but like the tall, multifaceted player is the next generation, right?
Yeah, that's their inspiration. Their inspiration is, Dirk. Their inspiration is KD. Their inspiration are those guys who, like, you look at KD, 6'9" to 7 foot, depending on what he wants to tell you. That great handle, the smoothness, the be able to, shoot off the dribble and also be able to catch and shoot and be able to look silky smooth out there while being the tallest guy on the court.
And they're doing koozie stuff.
Exactly.
Somehow, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it.
So KD's big time inspiration to guys like Wemby, to guys like Cooper Flagg, who's coming in. You have a lot of these guys. So
Chet has
Chet as well.
This Derek Queen kid, 6'10".
Yeah.
6'10". He's in the. I don't know if you heard about him saying, "Give me the motherfucking ball."
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic.
I'm from Baltimore. One of my best friends from Baltimore, Carmelo Anthony. So I get it. I get it. Give me the damn ball, and he wanted the ball.
That's what I told him in the conversation. I was like, Baltimore is one of the cities where if you give an answer on why are you a confident human, I'm from Baltimore. Everybody's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no follow-up question to that. Okay, got it. I got it.
Ty has a question for you.
So obviously you could play another 10 years if you really wanted to. I mean, it really does seem like that. But as you've gotten older, I mean, you have all this other shit off the court. You have the production studio, the podcast, all that kind of stuff that you're doing, all these different business ventures. How hard is it focusing on a lot of that stuff and not letting everything you have to do basketball-wise kind of suffer? Because I mean, you don't seem like the kind of guy where it's like you're going to start a production studio and just be like, fuck it, you guys handle everything. I'll attach my name to it. But, like, how difficult is that balancing those two? Because this is obviously some stuff that you seem like you're passionate about and you want to pursue.
For sure. I definitely got some great people in place. My right-hand man, Maverick Carter, he's unbelievable at what he does. He's a dog. And the greatest thing about him is his ability to, create relationships that last long. And we've never been just one-off guys. Like, we want to be able to create partnerships, and not like endorsement deals. Like, that was like a thing of the past. That was something that we didn't want to do. So the trust that I have with him, I allow him because of shit I've been knowing him my whole life. And when you have that type of chemistry and you have that type of brotherhood and that type of trust, you allow him to do it. But also, he's always checking in with me like, hey, listen, this is what we have going down the pipeline, yay or nay. This is why I feel it would be beneficial to us. But ultimately, like, do you want to do it or not? So, like, in this instance, like, I got to the point where, you brought that up and why I started, the podcast Mind the Game with JJ, last year. It was like, it was a looseness of the sport being covered and how the sport should be covered. It had got away from the essence of the game of basketball, of why I fell in love with the game, why I teach the younger generation the game, why I am in the position, that I am in. And we have that conversation. Me and Matt was like, okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, let me go figure it out. And he goes to figure it out. So
I learned so much from that show. I legitimately did. Now, obviously, looking back on it, it was just you interviewing JJ Redick, the Lakers, that entire thing. But I assumed JJ was going to become a head coach after that show regardless. Because the way you guys talked about it, to your point about never hearing it be discussed like that, legitimately, as a football person, as another sport person, never played basketball, whenever you guys were drawing up plays and like why you do this and debating on how to cover and all that, I felt like I got smarter as a basketball fan. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for that alongside JJ. That. And also congratulations, season 2, Mind the Game.
Season 2.
Wow, it's back.
I haven't clapped all night, but I'm going to clap on that. Yes, sir. Season 2, man.
With?
Steve Nash, man.
Wow. Okay.
The great Steve Nash, man.
So he's been a coach before, obviously, and obviously he's played a long time in the NBA. Yes. I had one chance to interview Steve Nash, and I learned about him in real time. And I think he played a lot of years.
Yeah, for sure. Legend.
Two-time MVP.
Let's see, whatever the
two-time
years
MVP,
are. I looked at him and I said, you played blank amount of years? And he goes, yeah. I go, Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I literally learned it in real time. Legend out there.
Absolutely.
But also loves the game, obsessed with the game, which feels like why it could potentially be a great fit for season 2 of Mind the Game.
No, absolutely. We're looking forward to it, man. We got an episode, 2 episodes in the bank. We're going to get a couple more soon, and we're going to just like continue to, preach the game, how it's supposed to be taught, how it's supposed to be viewed. And, we understand that, some of the other things is going to be said. It sells for them. But, what we've grown to love, why me and JJ did it in the first place, why me and Steve are doing it now, is because this is how we grew up loving the game. This is what brought us together. This is what the essence of the game should be talked to not only the generation that's playing now, but the generation that's going to come up after us. So, Mind the Game season 2 coming, y'all, man.
Can't wait. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Can we talk about a couple things real quick that we have to cover?
Absolutely.
Taco Tuesday, you thought that? Is that real?
It's today Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Tuesday. That was quite a situation. Barbershop, another one.
Oh, yeah, man, the shop. Oh, yeah. I grew up in it. That was easy. That was another easy one, man. It was like too many conversations that's going on right now. That's not the essence. It's not the essence, man. I remember getting dropped off as a 5-year-old. Mom dropped you off. She go do what the hell she had to go do, make her errands. She talked to the guy that's cutting your hair. How many he's behind? About 3 or 4. Okay, about 3 hours. Shit, being there about 3 hours, and I gotta wait there and sit there and wait my turn. And in that moment, that's when you hear everything. You start hearing about the best MC that's going on right now, the best hair product, the best beard oil, the best people in sports. Your music. It is everything.
Drama.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing goes on in a barbershop. So, for us to be able to create that platform, the shop, to be able to bring on all the beautiful minds that we've brought onto the shop, men and women, it's been a pleasure, it's been an honor, and we're keeping that thing going, man, because it's like it's a comfort place. I went to the barbershop from when I was like 5 all the way through high school, and to be able to have that sense of like truth. It's the one place of truth where you can go out there and be like, this is who I like. All right, that's who you like, and we're going to fight to the battle about it. And it'll be a new topic the next day. And, I think it's pretty cool.
You guys did a couple watch-alongs, too, for Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, man. Oh, that was dope. I mean, you guys know my love for the sport of football. So to be able to do that.
You wouldn't be able to take a shot, though, remember?
Yeah, couldn't play.
6'9", 250 pounds, wouldn't be able to handle football.
Yeah, man. A lot of, I wouldn't be allowed to do a lot of things, they say. Oh, they got my little high school highlights up there. First Benedictine. That's where Rich Paul went to high school, by the way. Yeah, I was playing against Rich Paul High School there.
One of the greatest American hustlers of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Legit, I think the record will state that Rich Paul may be one of the greatest hustlers of all time. You're from Ohio, so obviously football state.
Yeah, man.
Obviously basketball as well. But you love the game. I think you've talked openly about how much you love ball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Football was my first sport, man, my first love. I grew up big-time, prime-time Deion Sanders fan. Big-time Eric Metcalf fan, too. Growing up in Akron and seeing him up in Cleveland, seeing Eric Metcalf do his thing up there, too, man. Seattle's finest, Eric Metcalf. And, just grew up just always loving the sport, man. Seeing, Jerry Rice and seeing some of the old clips of, Walter Payton sweetness and, seeing Barry Sanders. That was another topic of conversation in, the barbershop. Barry Sanders versus Emmitt Smith.
Oh, yeah.
So you hear that conversation, So, I remember my mom buying me a pair of Barry Sanders sneakers. I was like, oh, man.
You felt so quick.
Yeah, I felt so quick.
Yeah. Elusive as shit.
And, they was like, I don't know if they was one of the first teams. Obviously, I don't know that for a fact, but seeing Barry Sanders on turf, wearing sneakers, that was super cool as a kid. So, yeah, it's a great sport. I mean, I love it. I love football, and I love the new guys now. They're super cool. My favorite guy, Derrick Henry, without seeing Saquon out there, and I got guys wearing my shoes now. Yeah. When Saquon did that move where he turned backwards and did a pirouette backwards and jumped up in the air, and Like he had my kicks on. I was like, oh my goodness.
I didn't know those were yours. They were sick.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he had the LeBron Retro 4s on in a spike when he did that. Like
spin move nasty.
That's oh my goodness.
Those are in the bronze.
Yes. Yeah, I was like super, like I was going crazy. I was like, I couldn't believe it. You know,
I didn't even know that.
So yeah, I love it.
Okay, let's talk about something else that we have to address. The Olympics. You saw your eyes blink sideways. What was that all about? What was that? What the fuck was that? Hey, I need to know what happened. Is that always happen? Your eyes always blink like that, or is that just at the Olympics?
I don't know. That was probably like my Michael Jackson Thriller video moment. You know, when he went from like, you know, he kind of turned into that beast of his. I don't know, man. I saw that and it kind of freaked me out too.
Yeah, okay.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you also saw it.
Terrible.
You also saw it and thought the same thing everybody else did. Okay.
Yeah, there was people like, oh my God, he's actually there in Paris and he may be at his home in California at the same time.
This guy's not a human.
Yeah, this guy's not human.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That was a real conversation that was happening.
Oh, yeah.
And I watched it a couple times. I was like,
Hold on.
I'll tell you what.
I mean,
The fucking eyes are interesting.
I can't sit here and say that it was not real, was not real. We just leave it at that.
Okay.
We just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Okay, when you think about the rest of the season and you think about this Lakers team, you guys will have success if what?
Wow. Well, obviously, we could go without saying any team. Health. Health. That's the most important for our team. We are not in a position where we can afford anybody to go down. And then after that, Luka, myself, and AR-15, we got to be all clicking at the same time. You know, and we know there's going to be games where, you know, that happens throughout the course of a playoff game where, you know, I may not be making my shots or whatever, or AR's not making his shots, or Luka might not be making the shots. But as far when I say clicking, we have to be in tune on what we got to do every single night because we got to make sure everybody's in the right place every single game. You know, the playoffs is literally one possession to have you losing a series. You know, one possession can make you lose a series, and it's up to us three. You know, obviously I know my voice and what I command out of guys, that's going to be heard. Luka's play, some people lead by example, and the way AR, his affections play, we have to make sure we have everybody in tune, and because we know that our coaching staff going to give us the game plan. JJ's not going to send us out there on a wild goose chase. Nope, we're going to be. He and his coaching staff, they're going to make sure we know what the hell we need to do in order to get the job done, and then it's up to us to go get it done.
You guys are going to mind the game.
Yeah, right.
You guys are going to mind the game.
Always do.
Plug.
Season 2, Steve Nash.
Season 2.
Available soon. Hey, we can't thank you enough for stopping
No,
by.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude.
Great
Legitimately.
conversation, man. I
You're
appreciate
awesome.
you boys over there, man.
I didn't know we were snapping after. I feel like I missed it.
Yeah, when I found out you was a Celtic fan, I thought you were going to throw a beer on me. Like, what happened?
No,
Watch
no.
him.
What is that? Is that what's the
come
Yeah,
around.
after I went for 45 in there, you know, that threw a beer on me on
Yeah,
the way
the heat.
out.
I mean, if you're still in the heat, that's still a problem. But I also do have one kind of mythological, whatever the word is, question. You don't read those fucking books before the games, right? All those books.
Yeah, we
you
need to talk
open it,
about
you
that,
open
you're
it
right.
to the first page,
Yeah.
and then you don't read those fucking books ever again.
I
Role model.
listen. I actually have finished those books. Oh, hold on.
Like if you were to hold this,
Hold on. I'm gonna
people
tell
say you would say you read it.
this is how.
That's the art of winning.
Someone take a photo.
All right, take the photo, please. Pat, take the photo.
Yeah, we got it. Hold on.
You got it?
I'll take it from this angle.
He probably read Rich's book.
We got her.
The first page,
Wow, holy shit. Braun read it.
and then that's it.
That's it. I didn't even talk to you guys this whole time I was up here. All I did was read the whole book.
Like Meteor Man.
That's it. Meteor.
Everybody might not know that movie, but
It's a classic, by the
yeah.
way. It's a classic.
So you get talk about the books, music. Music's another
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Did you see
Books,
the future of
music.
music?
Yeah.
Acting.
Acting. Yeah, everything.
Who's next in the music world if you had to give a prediction?
Wow.
Yeah, because we've heard you say, when I heard this guy, I knew.
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I literally go to when it comes to like the new generation now, this is the best thing about having teenagers as well. You can literally go to them and get the whole like
the scoop.
Yeah, the scoop. But I don't know, man. I don't know who's next up. But I'm I do love music though, man. But I'm definitely been listening to it. I got ready for the game yesterday, listening to Eric B and Rakim, man. Like, I'm an old school guy too, so. But we'll see.
Music and sports go hand in hand. So much.
No, for sure.
And,
no question about it.
Your knowledge of it has certainly been something that people have chatted about.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, you mind the music as well.
That's right.
And you mind the books. Do you mind the game?
Mind the tacos.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tuesdays
we got
only
everything.
on
Mind the movies.
Yeah, you mind the movie.
As long as they don't take away my mind the cookies, we'll be fine.
Dang.
Pat Riley said,
Damn it,
fuck
Rob.
the cookies.
Yeah, we be fine.
The Heatles are done.
Still low.
Not the last
The Heatles
We'll
are
be back.
done.
We'll be back.
This guy doesn't have any fucking cookies.
It's over.
It's over
We
with,
still
man.
got Spo. We still got the look. We good.
I don't know. People are saying the D Wade cursed statue is now carrying on forever.
It's a bad
It's
statue.
a
I haven't
bad
seen
statue.
it yet. Oh, well, in person.
You don't want to.
I've seen it. I've seen it on. Yeah,
Not
I
good.
love my guy.
Hey, when you get your statue done, just let's make sure it's a good one.
Yeah, check it
Because
before.
there's
I'm not
some
going to unveil
ass
it to the
ones.
world.
What do you mean?
Got to.
That's what a fucking statue is.
No, fuck that. No.
You're gonna put it in your bed?
If I need to see it multiple times,
Before we let it out.
yes.
Because if not, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, Wade saw his. He said.
Yeah, he said he saw it. He liked it.
Yeah, but I think he was just sticking up for the person.
Yeah, him and his son
Artistic expression.
Good
looked
teammate.
like they didn't like it.
Yeah, he's a good teammate.
I remember that moment. Though.
Yeah, when he stood on the table. Well, if he, yeah,
my shit.
yeah.
All right, LeBron, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, go. Yeah, okay, we're clapping. I like
No, I'm
it.
clapping for y'all.
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
clapping for y'all, man.
LeBron James. Hold on.
I'm clapping for y'all, man. I'm clapping for y'all, man.
Yeah, we're snapping.
I appreciate
See
that. I appreciate that, man.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James. All right, sir. That was obviously an incredible honor to get a chance to chit-chat with LeBron. I hope you had a chance to learn some things maybe you never knew about. Why don't you go ahead and use the hashtag #TheLeBronversation on X and let us know, and we'll read some of the reactions on the other side. Shout out to ESPN moving this break that we were supposed to have about 25 minutes ago this long into it. It was unfiltered, unedited, and raw on YouTube, ESPN Plus, and TikTok Live, which you can certainly go back and check out. And we can't wait to hear your thoughts on it all. We'll be back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Hashtag #TheLeBronversation. We'll see you on the other side. All roads leading to Eugene, and I can't help but say, hey, 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 you make me wanna jump, put my hands up and pick my heels up and all again now. A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now, a little bit louder. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great day in Oregon. You know, we're gonna can it. OH! We are! Thank you. I love this. Let me go ahead and cock that thing. Boom on! Boom on! Ah! Boom! Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, Roughnecks. We got engineers, we got doctors, we got economists. We got real tests that have real implications happening. And all of these sons of said, give me college game day. Instead of studying, I had some questions about coming out here to Berkeley, but after experiencing it, it is very evident that this is one of the best cities in this here United States of America. USA, 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 USA. This represents everything that is great with this country, with our sport. It doesn't matter which way you view the world. It doesn't matter which part of the country you're from. College football runs through our soul. And that is what a celebration today is all about. I am thankful to be here amongst these nerds and future geniuses and future people that are going to run this place.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go. This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, you pig! Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this LeBronversation Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Hour 2 of the program starts now.
Big day!
It has been a big day.
Yeah, huge.
That was a big conversation. Yeah. Cannot wait to see the big reaction coming from it. Obviously, there's been a lot of parts of that I don't think any of us knew about. And then some stories that were confirmed true. You know, that cookie one, 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler. I guess from the responses and reactions that I'm seeing on X and on social media, I guess the Miami media said that story was not true. I guess that is what a lot of people down in South Florida were saying on X. I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess it was reported that the cookie story blown out of proportion. And then right there, good journalism, we confirm that those crispy-edged, soft, home-baked cookies were certainly a part of the real story down there.
Yeah, you know, some people call it Pat Riley petty, or is it just, you know, heat culture? Is it just the top, the pinnacle of discipline? But one thing I think we can all agree on, you take away a man's soft-baked, crispy edge, chocolate chip cookies. I mean, any consequences that come from that, you better be ready for it.
You understand?
Right. Yeah.
That's right.
I got a little bit more clarity on it, the entirety of it all. The talks at tables here, Bruce Brown and Ty Schmidt. Boston Connor traveled back home alongside Talk. Send positive things to Boston Connor. He'll be back next week. Ty Schmidt, what a moment there for the program. And we led off this show. We talked about Russell Wilson going to the Giants. Congrats, Russ.
Russ.
Giants fans are saying, let's ride already.
Ride.
Very excited. Stephon Diggs, $26 million going to New England.
Also huge.
Huge. Trey Hendrickson, I guess they're Cincinnati's trying to get a deal done with Okay, good luck there. And then we also said, there's some things that we get to do that are outrageous. Talking to him yesterday was an absurd thing. And then watching it back, I literally watched it, I think, probably just like everybody else did. That's the most I've ever heard out of LeBron ever. And as soon as it ended, and they filmed an episode of Mind the Game Season 2 with Steve Nash. Steve Nash was here, too, afterwards. We did not know that was happening.
Another legend.
We had no idea Steve Nash was going to be here, and then all of a sudden Steve Nash walks in, and it's like,
holy shit.
Steve Nash is here. And Steve Nash then, absolutely beat the living shit out of me and Foxy, okay? He didn't miss a shot.
Didn't miss a shot.
I don't think he missed one shot. He said he hadn't shot in 11 years, since he retired. He's in incredible shape. He's playing tennis every single day.
Jumpers.
He was in TST. His form was absurd. He started with a couple warm-ups, and he was like, I don't know. He rims in, okay? First one from let's say 4 or 5 feet. Then he backs up to 6 feet and then splash. Then he backs up to 7 feet, splash, 8 feet, splash, 10, splash, and then he goes back to 3, splash, and then the game is shooting from all 5 spots. Splash, 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 splash. Get to come back around. Splash, 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 splash. It was absurd. And then, Ty, you walked out there and you go, this is multiple-time MVP on it.
Yeah, there's levels.
There's
levels.
This is multiple times. So Steve Nash was here. It was awesome. But literally sitting over there, we sat there for probably 3-4 hours. We were here until about 8 p.m. last night. Watching them record, do their thing. They took over. Shout out to Jason and Uninterrupted.
Shout out.
He was a little bossy.
A little bit, but hey, you got to do that when you're a producer.
He had to do what he had to do, and Kevin came through and worked, and, it was great. But we were chatting over there, and we all thought it was pretty surreal. And then watching it back, it's like he was so cool to us. I can't believe he did that. Now, granted, There's some internet chatter happening about maybe the reasoning on why he did it.
Maybe.
Okay, and there's been a lot of places that have certainly been wanting to chit-chat with LeBron James for a long time like that, and those people are probably going to be haters of some of the things and how we conducted said conversation. If you would like to ask the questions, do it. Get a conversation and have it your way. But everything we talked about, I feel like we addressed a lot of outstanding things. And he blessed us with a lot of fucking answers. And I'm very thankful for that. You know, we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
Remember, we're in the back of a box truck down in Louisiana with no air conditioning, 135 degrees.
Correct.
Everything's crashing, but we got to go live. We've been through a lot. That moment is a wild one for us. And I enjoyed the fact that we enjoyed it last night afterwards.
Yeah, and I think we should have because, you know, I mean, we were even saying right up to like when, you know, we're like, hey, we'll believe this when he actually shows up, you know, because like it's happened plenty of times. You always talk about, hey, we don't really promote stuff for the show because there's a chance like you book someone and then you make a big deal about it and then 20 minutes before they're supposed to come on, something falls through and it doesn't happen. And then we're kind of just sitting here with our dick in our hands. Like,
we look like assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But for him to come in and I don't know if it really, you know, like you could tell in the interview, he literally walked in, sat down, and we got right into it. Like there was no preamble, like him kind of feeling it out a little bit, seeing like, oh, okay. So like, yeah, people can say what they want about the reasons he decided to do it here, but regardless of that fact, like there could have been multiple moments in that when we did it, when he was just like, nah, stop. Like, cut that. Like, I don't really want to discuss that. I don't really want to do that.
Which a lot of people were saying was going to happen.
Exactly.
As soon as we announced it, there was a lot of people saying,
pre-recorded.
Like, LeBron's, pre-record was like, yeah, he's in the middle of an NBA season. He's got a game.
Yeah.
Like, he's flying in from the West. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of things happening. So the fact that he even made time was awesome. Then he added an extra 2 hours of travel, basically, to come here to do the entirety of it all. And, a lot of people thought it was going to be at it. We ran it.
Yeah,
that was literally the entirety of it.
And that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, you know, why is the audio dropping out? It's like because he was real. He was dropping F-bombs. Like he was super comfortable. Which, you know, I don't know. It's crazy because, like you said, you know, for him to come in and for, you know, like you guys are professional athletes. Like that's one thing, but the amount of people that want to talk to him or have opinions about him or have said, you know, out of pocket stuff about him, for him to just sit in the pocket there with, you know, me and Connor up here too, and just whatever, I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna have fun with these guys. Like it surpassed my expectations of what it was going to be, and like I'll remember yesterday for the rest of my life. Like that was insane.
There were some LeBron haters in the Thunderdome. D-Butt. You know, there were some LeBron haters in the Thunderdome. And then immediately afterwards, like,
yeah,
he did a lot there for us. Yeah. He seemed cool, too, didn't he? Seemed like a human.
Charming.
I got texts from people that are in the biz. This is a fascinating conversation. What do you mean a fascinating conversation? Like LeBron was just like it did feel like LeBron was just hanging. You know? Yeah. It literally felt like that.
It was the most candid that I've seen him. Like I said, I've even seen him on platforms that he owns, and obviously he's, you know, they probably have, you know, pre-production and know what they're going to talk about. Like you said, walking in, just sitting down, and you know how free-flowing the show is. Like you didn't even know necessarily what we were going to ask when you went to us. So for him to be that candid in that moment in the middle of the season, to take the time out, all the things that you mentioned, and he is a person that, you know, with all the deals and things that he has, partnerships and things, you want to, you know, protect that in some sense. So for him to go into detail and talk about certain things, like it was huge things. I know even like when I asked him about the Bronny thing, like I kind of forgot about Bronny's heart, that's huge. Like that's a huge thing, and for him to even go in detail about that, and then why these moments mean even more to him, because we do, you know, especially in the media now, we talk about athletes, and sometimes even as former professional athletes, you forget about the human aspect side of it, the family side of it. So see him going in detail about that, and clear up some other stories. The cookie story, obviously, a lot of people from home are pissed off about Pat Riley and how that all went down, but yeah, it was dope.
$1 million on the body.
Yeah.
Because he was probably in his head like, something more.
Yeah.
Well, never added it
People
up.
are kind of undercutting, like, I took a couple of trips, did this. Yeah, at his stage, 40 years old, you know, he is a physical specimen.
Yes.
And when you forget that, I think, when you see him just on TV, I think you forget that he like almost hits his head on the exit sign when he's walking in here, you know? And the pictures, like, it was funny whenever we lined up for the photo that we showed there. He was like, I'll get in the back. He like looked around and was like, I'll get in the back. I don't want to block anybody. And Gumpy, you know, Gumpy's 5'10", we'll say. Okay. And we'll do that. He's the one.
10.
Yeah, he's the one right in between.
That's a very good day, brother.
Yeah, he's 5'5". This guy, he is a little fella. And his shoes somehow, he got these cute little shoes. I mean, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. One of the greatest humans and hardest working humans of all time, obviously a Canadian. But LeBron literally looks right at him. He goes, "I'll get in the back." And Gumpy goes, "Oh, no, it's your show, pal." And Gumpy just pokes his head around there. And LeBron looks down at him one time and just like shakes his head. And it was like, I assumed that he had never been in a room like what we had, you know? And I'm appreciative of him knowing our program, because when he sat down, he said, "I've seen this place so many times, I had no idea what it looked like," which is what a lot of people say. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's watched is very cool to think about, because as I said at the beginning, like, I'm 37, he's 40, so and I'm a sports guy, and I like people that are like, I've always been infatuated with the greats, like always have been. Yeah. Always want to know what makes the greats great. Always want to know how they tick, you know, the work ethic. And there's always going to be things that come along with greats now, you know. And if you pay attention to the greats, you'll find those. There's always going to be some sort of flaw or offset, because you have to sacrifice something to get to a level that nobody else has ever been. So like nobody at the top has ever been perfect. Nowadays, everybody's been covered more so. Now even more so than whenever LeBron came out of high school in the early 2000s or whatever, because of how much social media is. But his entire life has been documented, you know? And it's like for him to, now granted he's pissed off people with his politics. He's gone public with his politics, which is going to happen anytime you do politics. He's taken stances for things that some people think, a portion of people think, like, this guy shouldn't be talking about this. He has no idea. But then he's also done, like, so much good. And, like, the way he worded that is just not wanting to fuck it up.
Yeah.
That's an interesting, I think that was, like, the most human thing that I think I've ever heard out of, like, a LeBron James. Like, there was an actual fear there, like, hey, there's a lot of stories in the past of people having this type of opportunity and ruining it. I don't want to be somebody that does that. That was cool to hear the reason, like that felt like his why, you know? And I don't think I'd heard it before. And the way he laid it out, I was like, there's a reason this guy is the one.
Yeah.
Like, there is a reason why he's been able to do it. And you look around now, and I don't want to do, like, Paul Skeens feels like a similar, you know, situation with, like, baseball right now. This doesn't happen often, you know? Him understanding the assignment, he said. He talked about the lottery.
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Okay, lottery, yeah. Scratch off, okay. Me going back, I understood the assignment, you know? And it's like, it takes that, I think, and I bet you the league is very thankful for everything LeBron, and it's probably why LeBron has so much sway, you know, amongst players, amongst the league, because he has been it for 22 years. Literally day one, he's guy.
Yeah, when you talk about expectations, and I know Skeens is a guy, and we've had other, and now with the media that we have, like, expectations are larger for a lot of different individuals. But to go back to, you know, when he was 16 on the cover of Slam magazine or whatever it was, like, at that point he was already being compared, okay, is he going to be the next Michael Jordan? And for him to, you know, live up and surpass those expectations, I know, you know, Luau Sender, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was before our time, but he kind of had those same expectations. Like, before social media was really a thing, like, LeBron, everybody knew who LeBron was. Everybody expected him to be kind of what he became. So I couldn't imagine the pressure it is to kind of live up with that. And him growing up, you know, saying that he, you know, didn't have necessarily those role models around him, and then to become what he's become, and then, you know, be that role model for so many young kids, you know, the young boys in his house. First and foremost, like, that's just dope to see.
$2.5 million was raised at the Boys and Girls Club up there.
Okay. Built a school. Like,
in Cleveland.
We got a school, like, and people, to your point, people are always going to be, especially people that are, you know, viewed on the mountaintop or as the greats, people are always going to be on both sides. People, you know, we speak very, very glowingly about Michael Jordan now, but when Michael Jordan was in his heyday, a lot of people hated MJ too. A lot of people spoke on, you know, his weaknesses or whatnot. Everybody, you go up and down the list, it's always going to be people on both sides. Just like you said, it may have been some LeBron haters in the building. It's definitely LeBron lovers in the building as well, and that's going to be in every building, every barbershop, every group chat. You're going to have those conversations. It's kind of what comes with it when you kind of enter that Mount Rushmore conversation, not only in basketball, but just in sports in general.
Business, you name it.
Yeah.
Human,
yeah.
You like everything. When you get to the top of the mountain, a lot more people know you.
Yeah.
You know? I think, you know, and this is going to sound so narcissistic to bring up, like, our story, but, like, the more people that know us, you know, and the more people that get introduced to us, like, the louder it gets. I think I don't know if it was Herbstreit who told me, he was like, but as you climb up the mountain, the windier it gets. You know, like that is real life, and that is how it all is. You know, but the height comes a lot of benefit, but the negative is it gets louder too. The more people that know you, the more people that are going to like you, but the more people that are definitely going to hate you. LeBron's been known by, and we talked about it before social media, that was flip phone era. Everybody remembers him at the WWE, the WWF at the time, I assume, and in the front row with his little flip phone. It's like, you didn't need social media to know who the hell LeBron was. The whole world knew who LeBron was. And the way he has operated, I think he should be incredibly proud of himself, legit. And coming in here, and he's forever, there's going to be some story or controversy. He's a human, you know, like things do happen. But it's like what he did here for us, I will forever be thankful for. You know, and that was very, very, very cool of him, especially because we're football doofuses. You know? I think we had some good NBA questions in there.
Big time. I think we did journalism.
I think we did a little journalism. There's people doing emergency broadcasts right now to respond. And we expect
sure
that.
they will. Yeah, sure.
We did expect that. As in the conversations that we were having there afterwards as they were filming, there was a lot of like, I wonder if insert name here knows that there's something. And then, I wonder if definitely they know. They would know that something's. And then, kind of a ricochet to, like a couple of those.
Yeah.
But other than that, I learned a lot about LeBron James and the human he is. And he's got the Pacers tonight on ESPN. And I'll tell you what, we FaceTimed Tyrese Halliburton immediately after the conversation and said, look out, bub. Look out, he's locked in right now. Just want to let you know, they're figuring it out. And Tyrese said, so are we. I don't want to hear, Tyrese doing his thing. But it's nice to get to know these NBA dudes.
No, it was great. He was. It was awesome to hear him just as a human. A lot of times, like even him bringing up the finals against Dallas or that series against Orlando and like saying like, hey, I fucked those up. Like that was cool of him to hear, and just being a human talking about Bronny. And then I love, like you talked about, I love hearing the greats talk about the greats, and like the conversation about him and Kobe not being super tight and kind of a rivalry even during those U.S. Olympic teams until he became a Laker, until Kobe was retired. Like, and then talking about how that's probably what's going to happen with MJ, just because, like him saying he's definitely tired of seeing me running up and down the court wearing that 23. Like that, like him talking about that stuff was just awesome.
Well, and then in that same sentence, he mentioned like since I'm in high school, they've been talking about my name with this guy. You know, so he could see how Jordan.
And we all know Mike.
And even if you don't know Mike, you know Mike, and it was like, I guess we could see how that could be true. And I wonder if LeBron's going to have to deal with the same.
Oh yeah.
You know, whenever it happens, I wonder if he's
maybe if there's another one.
Well, you know, we can take this over to football because like Brett to Aaron Rodgers, and then how Aaron wanted to do Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I wonder if there will be a way that LeBron, like, for the next whoever it is it Wemby potentially, a vastly different player, but whoever it is next, I do wonder how that relationship will go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And these guys,
how long is this guy going to play for too?
That's the first question. But the Michael, and we all know him. You know, just I would say him and LeBron, just from the outside looking in, are different when it comes to that. I feel like you know
everything.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things for sure. And Kobe was more similar to Michael when it came to that. So I think he'll be more open. And you mentioned it being around so long, like he's playing with his son, but he's faced like, I don't know how many players now. He's like, I played against your dad. I played against your uncle. I've coached. You know, Steve Nash. He played against Nash. He played against Redick. Like Redick has come up after him, retired, went on TV, now become a coach, all while he's still playing. So I think he'll definitely have that type of mentor relationship with whoever the next person is.
Steve Nash and LeBron James, season 2 of Mind the Game, debuting on Tuesday, April 1st. I do believe it is an Amazon property, but I think you can see and watch it everywhere. We talked to Steve Nash off air, and I assume he thought it was off the record, but we're definitely going to say it because it was a great line. He said that all the people that didn't think LeBron and Luka were going to work is because they thought that, you know, a star, whenever he's not getting the ball and he's used to getting the ball, can sometimes pad a little bit. You know, like that's a real thing that can happen. You know, humans, egos, pride, everything like that could take place. So I think the people thought that they weren't going to be able to work because one of them wouldn't be able to buy into the other one being star. Normally it's like people take turns. You know, that is kind of how like that would work. And he said instead, it feels like what he's watching is LeBron's taking advantage of the fact that Luka is getting a lot of the attention and being the ball. So he's able to do stuff he's never been able to do before. Cutting, backdooring, being able to kind of do the off-the-ball shit that I assume he's been wanting like others to do. You know, like everything that he has maybe wanted. And he's fully committed to that. So I think that goes into it even more of a conversation of like, maybe this guy isn't just a prima donna prick, like maybe he has been painted into an image that, a couple different things that have happened, people just automatically assume the absolute worst. It's like, this dude's willing to give up like his ego in his 22nd year in Los Angeles, with him already being a GOAT for another guy. Trade, he wasn't even, if you listen to all reports,
right,
he was not talked to about, he talked about how much he likes Anthony Davis, and it's like, he's just like, yep, and he's called JJ Redick, what a dickhead.
Yep.
So it's like, there's obviously coaching happening. It's like, I feel like I have a much different perspective of LeBron after talking to him, and I just keep saying I can't take him enough for it.
A lot of people would take shots at him early on, even in high school. Like, he was always more passive. People would say, like, hey, take the shot, take the last shot every time. I don't care if you double team, don't pass it up to the better shot, because that's kind of who he was as a player. Was, hey, I'm gonna be a team player. I'm gonna get the best shot. I'm gonna put my players in the best position to succeed. And people wanted him to be the Kobe who's going to take the final shot, be the MJ who's going to take the final shot. So once you're in that position, you're never going to make everybody happy. I feel like he's definitely stayed true to himself, and that's what I also admire.
Well, to your point, like, I think he's just like at peace with everything now. Like, he doesn't give a shit about the argument between him and LeBron, because like when you get to his level, like in his head, you're never going to win that anyway. Like, he probably thinks he's the best of all time. He should, but like, it doesn't matter what he does at this stage of his career. Like, the Lakers could win the next 2 NBA finals, and that's not going to sway how anyone who is on the Jordan side thinks anyway. So like you said, like, he's at peace with it. It's like, you know what? I can put my resume is signed, sealed, and delivered. Like, it's set in stone. So I can, if it takes me just sitting in the corner and hitting open threes or cutting to the basket and dunking, and I can kind of pass the torch on to Luka to be like the next star of the Lakers, I'm good with that. And people are going to say what they're going to say regardless.
He was awesome. Hey, thank you, Bronny. And Foxy, you've been a Bron enthusiast, a Bron enthusiast your entire life.
Yeah.
As soon as it was over, you and Mitt, oh man,
dude,
who's a big Bron guy, were like, that was awesome. It's so mind blown.
So he mentioned that night in Detroit where he scored 25 points. I was probably 12, 13 years old. And ever since that night, I'll never forget it. I was like, this is the guy. So I've been on this LeBron journey, ups, downs, championships, losing championships, all this stuff the whole time. And countless LeBron Jordan arguments. I mean, you have to do that. But to see him in the flesh, like Ty said, didn't know if he was actually going to come. I didn't want to get my hopes up. And then to see him, we do the interview immediately. I couldn't have got out of this seat faster. Walked out there immediately, legend, dapped him up. He was so cool. He was so nice. I'll literally never forget that.
Did you guys snap after the dap up or no?
No snap from him or me. So we were kind of on the right page there.
Yeah, it was interesting. He dropped that in there out of nowhere, because he's got handshakes with everybody. So I didn't know what, to be honest.
That might be your handshake.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay.
But I didn't get a snap either.
The rhythm of the snap was something I've never experienced before. It was very quick after the, usually there's like a boom and then like a little, oh, we're doing a little
beat.
Boom. And instead it was like.
He's got those massive hands. They get there just right away.
Yeah,
boom, big fingers. It's like.
Well, because he probably doesn't want to take them away. That's a long trip.
Exactly.
We're going to get back.
Yep.
So.
It's huge.
Oh.
He's absolutely huge.
He had a couple bars in there too. Everything becomes Sasquatch. I think was one of the things that he said. It was like, oh, I bet you he explains that about a lot of stories about him that go. How about the 2 kids, 2 guys, Caucasian gentlemen, who are outside the elevator? Oh my God, it's LeBron. Oh, I didn't. What a moment. FUK-LBJ. He's heard a lot of that throughout his life, and we're thankful that he stopped by. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. Nobody. There's going to be. We would be wasting every conversation that we have right now. For instance, Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati might get done.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe. What makes you say that?
Well, there's been a report, a little latte, Starbucks Air and Starbucks Jouster.
Yeah.
Basically saying that they're looking to basically complete a sweep of paying all of their players. This has kind of been the MO or the statement coming out of the Bengals since the beginning. They said they want to be able to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Everybody said that's not possible. Remember, he said ideally we'd keep both Jamar and T. They did. Congratulations. And then as he spoke about, Duke Tobin spoke about Trey Hendrickson, would like to keep Trey Hendrickson here as well. Didn't think it would be possible to be able to pay both wide receivers and Trey Hendrickson. Didn't think it would be possible to pay one of the wide receivers and Trey Hendrickson and pay the other wide receiver. But now it's being reported that they're going to try to do it. So I'm not going to doubt them, just strictly because they dunked on me pretty good for not thinking that they'd be able to get both wide receivers done. But if they're able to get all three of these guys done, they're going to have to hit on the draft. Like, that is going to have to be the case. But other teams have been able to do it.
Yeah.
But other teams have been able to do it.
I mean, what a lot of the good teams that people always refer to, the Eagles being one of the examples, one of the I would say the best example, they're defending Super Bowl champs, is they pay their guys early. So they don't, when you get to this point and now the market, it jumps up year by year by so much, put yourself in this situation. We talk about it all the time when you're not with the quarterback that's not on their rookie deal. So Joe Burrow has already been paid. You paid your two receivers, and now you're going to pay the reigning sack king right now. It's like, hey, it's going to be a tough time filling out the rest of that roster. Maybe bring in the Thunderdome squad. We can get some shit done.
Yeah, we do got some.
It'll be interesting to see how Duke Tobin gets this done. But obviously, he is one of their best players. I'm bummed out to hear this as a Colts fan. I was hoping some way, somehow, we got him back with Lou over here with our defense. But most importantly, I hope Trey gets his well-earned money because he's been a dog since stepping foot in the league.
Yeah, Trey's been good to us, obviously. Yep. And what he said on our program at Radio Row was kind of the big, well, wait a minute. Are they going to be able to get Trey done? Are they trying to get Trey done? And Trey's like, I love Cincinnati, but, also at some point I need to be given what I'm worth. There's been a couple years now where they've kind of extended it. Hopefully he's able to make his money, get his money, and if they're able to keep him in Cincinnati, that's phenomenal work by Duke Tobin.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it all goes. Go ahead, Ty.
Well, and ultimately, are they going to have to meet in the middle somewhere? Because I understand they're trying to get it done, but if they come back to him and they're like, hey, how does $32 million a year sound? It's like, well, I'm the reigning sack king, and you got guys making $40 million a year. So, do I need to take a hometown discount? I know he said he loves Cincinnati, but the proof is still going to be in the pudding. Because is that necessarily fair that because they've already paid those two guys, they want him to stay? That doesn't necessarily mean that he should have to take a big pay cut for what he thinks he's truly worth.
Okay, I don't know if it's a pay cut or not. Russell Wilson last year was getting paid $1 million by the Pittsburgh Steelers and 36 or 40 or something from the Denver Broncos. Yesterday, it's announced he signs a 1-year, $10 million guarantee or $10.5 million guarantee up to $21 million in the 1 year. They obviously signed Jameis Winston to a $4 million per year job a week ago or whatever, and they got Tommy Cutlets in there. Daboll and was obviously on a mission this offseason to get a veteran quarterback, understanding the situation, especially what has happened over the last couple of years, and understanding that Hard Knocks offseason basically showcased the Saquon Barkley decision, and then Saquon goes on to be the Offense Player of the Year and MVP basically, and have the greatest season in the history of any running back. So that's tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But now we got a chance to win. They bring in Russell Wilson. Let's go to New York Giants football fan. Bruce Brown, you guys going to Super Bowl or what?
I don't know about the Super Bowl.
But whoa.
I'm fired up. It seems like Giants Nation is a bit torn, and to all the Giants fans that are upset about us signing Russell Wilson, I would just say, who do you think we are? We tried to get Matt Stafford. He stayed home. He didn't want to move across the country.
$100 million guaranteed you guys are going to give.
Yes, exactly. To come be a New York Giant. I would imagine we offered Aaron Rodgers much more, or at least a few million more than what the Steelers are offering. But obviously, he would probably rather be a Pittsburgh Steeler. We are what we are. And we got to build something here to attract future free agents that might want to come here and just put a respectable season together. And I think Russ is a great first, really second step behind Jameis, coming as the backup, towards that goal. I think our roster is a lot better than a lot of people, might think, especially on the offensive line end of things. But still certainly holes to fill and steps to take. But I think this is a great first step. And now looking at the draft, we could still go Shedeur 3 and have him sit behind Russ for maybe 8-9 games, and then let Shedeur go out there, or we go Travis Hunter, maybe trade back in Jackson Dart. So
okay, here we go. Now we're working. Now we're wheeling dealing.
More options on the table for the draft, and I'm pumped up about it.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And Russell Wilson's post, obviously, he won a Super Bowl there. They beat the Broncos. Mm-hmm. So he says, I know this place pretty well. He goes, this is the place where Zito took the top off an RV right outside.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people saying he's the first guy to ever be excited to go to MetLife Stadium.
See, that's not good.
Place is a shithole.
That's what I'm saying.
Russ is an eternal optimist.
He is. He loves going to
MetLife Stadium.
That quarterback room.
Let's ride.
Is he going to let's ride? What do you think it's going to be? He didn't do anything with the Steelers, right?
I tried riding it.
No, and it that kind of maybe that's why he lost the juice in the last half of the season.
He hopped off the pony.
But fun fact: ESPN Bet came out with their win totals for the NFL. Giants are the lowest at 3.5, so they don't believe
with Russell Wilson.
What was it before?
3.5. Yeah,
Russ changed.
Obviously, we have our division, then we play the entire NFC North and the Chiefs, pretty much.
Yikes.
So you look at
let's see.
the Raiders, Saints, Patriots. Maybe
That's a tough schedule.
Maybe the Bears. Maybe the Broncos.
Man, Double, your head coach,
Yeah.
looking at this thing going, what did I do?
Yeah, what the hell did we do to deserve this? They better not be on prime time. That's all I feel.
They will.
They will.
5 straight weeks of it, brother.
Oh, yeah.
5 straight weeks. We're going to be forced to watch it. Good luck to Russell, man.
Good luck, Russ.
Congratulations to Stephon Diggs. Obviously has a leg injury. He secures another $26 million and another prove-it type contract, which he certainly can and would be able to with Drake May. That's a huge deal for New England as we have about a minute here, D-Bud.
Yeah, good deal for New England. I think a great deal at this point in his career for Stephon Diggs. He's made a ton of money in his career. He knows what it's like to be a number one receiver. And from what I've seen online, at least from Dr. Reef and him and his posts, he looks like he's trending in the right direction health-wise. So I'm looking forward to Drake May getting another certified weapon on offense. Then this makes the draft even more exciting for what the Patriots to do at the top.
Oh, Travis Hunter and Stephon Diggs.
Cool.
Oh, wow. That'd be pretty crazy.
Wide.
But the way those first 4 picks are going, literally anything can happen right now.
Yeah.
Especially with what the quarterback stuff happening. And then there's some Browns quarterback conversation happening. There's a lot going on. We'll continue to cover it all every day that you'll allow us. We can't thank LeBron enough. It's been LeBronversation, Wednesday, March 26, 2025, here on ESPN. We roll on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and TikTok Live. We'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Goodbye. That was a pretty good sign off.
Hell yeah.
I felt pretty good about that one.
Nailed it.
Felt pretty good about that one. People are not happy about the muting of the swear words on ESPN.
Yeah.
We should have put on the bottom unfiltered on YouTube.
They should know at this point.
Yeah, but a lot of people that do not know our show are watching. A lot of people know LeBron.
They were tuning in.
Have you just looked at like the amount of followers?
Yeah,
he
he's
has?
got a lot.
I checked that out last night. You know, because we started talking about it. We're like, this is the biggest. This is by far the biggest that has ever been on the program. By far. Like Aaron Rodgers is a megastar.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, insanely famous.
What about Dewey?
It's the thing, though.
The Rock.
Dewey. That's the thing. Like football, obviously America, but these basketball dudes like James Harden, Steph Curry, like these like U.S. Numbers wise, probably not even the top 3 when it comes to like actual people, not money wise. Yeah, but soccer players, same thing. So yeah, when you get those big time basketball players, like their brands are so wide. Like it's crazy how many people follow them.
We're getting quoted in different languages, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And I hope they, if they do a lip dub of me, I hope it's a good one.
I'm sure it will be.
I hope in their language they go pizzazz. You know, I hope they get it right. Because I've been down this international road before.
Sure.
It was not for a conversation with LeBron James. It was for a conversation with Aaron Rodgers during a time where there was a shot. You know.
Yeah.
And he was not.
No.
He was never going to.
Wasn't getting it.
That was Dr. Aaron.
Not doing it. He consulted with Dr. Joe Rogan at the time. Also, like 3 other actual doctors. Nobody talks about that. Had a 500-page report. Boy, I was getting murdered in different languages. I mean, just the entire planet was just burying me. Look at the flappy arms on a guy next to him. This fatso is going to be on a conversation about health? I don't think so. Jesus. What language is that? And I'm asking the internet to translate. And I stopped translating, please. It was better when it was just a bunch of letters and I didn't understand what it was saying. Let me get out of here. Let me keep it moving. I assume the same thing here.
Miles Teller saga.
Oh, I mean, that's a whole other animal.
Yeah,
different languages getting
exactly
buried.
Yep.
Swedish tabloids tell me I'm the worst human of all time.
Yep.
So let me translate that. This piece. All right.
The Swedes?
I think so.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I think it was them. I forget who it was. But LeBron here, he certainly, I assume shows are going to use that for the next year. 2
Long time.
2
year.
Long time. There's a lot
So
of
you put that in the bank for the next decade, I think. Be okay.
quotable moments.
All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back on the other side, wrapping up all the stories, and also finding some hashtag the LeBronversation tweets that we need to read on air. Cannot wait to see the reaction to the convo. Be a part of the program potentially. Go on X, use the hashtag the LeBronversation, You might see a tweet of yours on this program on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. Take 5. 5.
Is it? What a moment. Can you imagine? McAfee for his boys. For the brand. Now the celebration is on. Brad McAfee and Stone Cold Steve Austin. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. What a magical moment. A dream scenario. Brad McAfee wins his match at WrestleMania and shares a beer with the tech. Oh no! Stunner! 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 Austin stuns McAfee! I hate to say it, but DTA, Pat, don't trust anybody. Especially the dirtiest son of a bitch to ever play the game. Austin 316 says, I just stunned Pat McAfee. This Pat can enjoy his victory when he wakes up. The celebration belongs now to the Texas Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh my, what a couple of nights. Oh, there he is. Yeah, hey, Pat, celebrate. Give him about 10 minutes. I'm surprised you're even here tonight after last night. Well, I didn't expect Austin to be here tonight. Okay, Pat, I like it up to better, Pat. Have fun. I respect the game.
Tonight is a night where everything's going to be remembered. Every play, every sweat, every fight.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I bust soon, soon. Know as a child back in the womb.
Let's have a national championship Monday, huh?
My name's Pat McAfee. I've started this show 2 different occasions already. This will be the 3rd. Wow. It's 2023. We eat adversity for lunch. Oh. There's just so many different forms of gummies coming in my mouth.
Boss man, can you do a kickflip?
100 for it? 100 for it?
Oh!
Come on, bro. That was awesome.
Hey, this little teddy bear is cool. This little round thing is sweet. All right, I feel pretty good for this ESPN party. Let's go have a blast in there. Boom. Need you to do a red carpet. I've never done a red carpet before.
I gotta poop, sorry.
I don't know if now's the time.
We're invited to the ESPN party, and now we are all sitting on a red carpet. We had no idea this was coming, obviously. We thought we were just getting some free drinks.
A lot of people on the internet say I look high. What's that all about? I'm a massive fan of Posner. He was getting motivational speeches in between songs. He was playing other people's songs. He was telling people to stay Dahn. We're going to make a moment. Only on the count of 3, we're going to go crazy.
Oh, I know. Sad song. Sad song. Oh, oh yeah.
A couple of these. Bring it up. Bring it up. Who's up? What do you want?
What'd you do?
Gotta make it back this game, baby. It's gotta last until 9 o'clock.
Happy birthday.
Sack of shit.
Yeah.
I'm so fired up to be here.
Yeah.
I got a necktie and everything.
Holy shit. Tim Tebow's here. Oh my God.
Look at that cut.
The most handsome shot in our show's history. Nick Saban has been spotted at SoFi. Great work in the back, Foxy. The boys crushed it. Now we got game day, then the MegaCast. Let's go. Hey, let's have a night. You're back.
Obviously, the enemy of great is good. The enemy of a dynasty is winning one championship and letting it go. Ron, you're obviously going to Colorado, a place that's been looking for some sort of championship for 20 years. You're also one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. What are you saying to your team?
You can't get here and all of a sudden change.
Yeah.
You don't want to see a different mannerism of somebody, especially the coaches. See, everybody's talking about the players.
Yeah.
But you got to coach the coaches, too.
Did you smile there, too?
I saw
Were you smiling?
Oh,
I
yeah.
saw a smile.
I do that every now and then.
The rat poison, smiling. That's embedded fourth quarter perfection. Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter perfection. Big moments, Tebow perfection. We got some real magic here tonight, don't we? And I love that toad that takes those mushrooms and hit their With that being said, Stetson Bennett's 25 years old. He's so damn comfortable. Darnell Washington's the backup tight end. He's 6'7", 270. Brock Bowers, best player on the field. The defense full of dogs. Give it to Georgia Bulldogs. Go back-to-back. First time since this man and his Alabama squad. I love the Bulldogs tonight, barking all over the place, Coach.
All right, here we go, huh? A little bit of rush from old game day down the field. We went all the way to the roots to come back. We are so sorry. All right, let's roll. I gotta get to the sleep, and then I'm gonna hop over the sleep thing. Good, man.
You are looking at SoFi Stadium, where we'll be crowning a national champion for our college football season tonight. And the Dogs are on the board early. Wide open.
That's the shot that they wanted, baby.
Oh, that's embedded with his second touchdown in the first half. Pick.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Georgia's first down. One-handed touchdown. Brock Bowers, touchdown. It is currently 45-7. It is 52-7. Touchdown.
This is just a good old back home ass whooping.
It's a blowout, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o. That son of a bitch, Uga, is having the night of his life.
Wow.
It's raining indoors in Los Angeles. This is God taking a tinkle on something magical, isn't it? Let's get that.
Get him on camera.
That mustache.
Holy smoke.
Holy smokes.
Are you a firefighter?
Good for you, bro. Thanks for your service. First down, Horned Frogs on a 2nd and 3. Why don't we call a game? Holy hell, Tim Tebow is coming. Tebow, we're live.
We're on.
We're live right now. Welcome back to SoFi Stadium. Right before the break, an extra point almost killed Tim Tebow. Natural instincts had to take in place. I could not lose the greatest human on earth, and I'm happy they gave you that ball, Tim. Tone, act like you're Sonny Dykes, please.
All right, boss. First half didn't go our way. We're doing this for the great state of Texas. You know who else was down 31 points?
Who's that?
The Italians.
All right, let's take the tractor another round. What are you watching out there, Coach?
Honestly, they're better off grabbing Luka Doncic out of the crowd and maybe lining him up next to Quentin Johnson at receiver. Because they can't do a damn thing.
We decided Tebow here, formerly known as praying for this TCU team to do something. So you put your hands up, play that song, butterflies fly away. Thank you for your service, sir. You're a badass, man.
Those other Americans, I wouldn't be here.
What a run, huh? The boys crushed it. This shit TCU sucks.
You'll be so mean all the time.
What? That's all she wrote for college football season. What a year. Let's fucking get home.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this LeBronversation Wednesday, March 26, 2025. Hour 3 starts now.
Big day!
It has been, and what an honor it has been to be here. The Toxic Table at Bruce Brown and Ty Schmidt looking fantastic. Opening day tomorrow.
Oh, God, I cannot wait.
Opening day of the baseball season is tomorrow, Ty Schmidt, and I'll let you two Yankees diehards know. Tomorrow on the program, Derek Jeter.
Oh, my God.
What?
The captain.
Holy shit.
Captain?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'd take a bullet for Jeet any day of the week for the rest of my life.
Well, you wouldn't be. You're just saying
that would be the
any
last
week,
day of my life.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it every week, but
No.
you're saying if a week comes,
If like Jeet's 95 years old living in a nursing home and some like Colombian hitmen in Miami decide, hey, we got to get rid of this guy, and I get wind of it, I'm down there. I'll take every single one of them
for your captain.
Yeah. Oh, captain, my captain, yes.
He'll be on tomorrow.
Hell yes.
Talking about opening
fucking
day.
go.
What are the storylines? Are the Yankees going to win this year or no?
We'll see. That's what's kind of tough is because, as you know, the baseball season is so fucking long that, like, there are storylines, but, I mean, we are – nothing matters for the next, like, month and a half.
You know what does matter?
What's that?
Shohei Ohtani's back on a bump.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani, last year, end of season, now they would go on to win the World Series and all that, he was taking pitching sessions.
Yeah.
You know, never played, never pitched. We were hoping that there would be a moment where he would come out and maybe close the game out, whatever it was, because Shohei is obviously a phenom. This is a one of one, an anomaly in every single sense. He's back doing it. So we got a chance this year we're going to see the Shohei Ohtani experience. You know, people chit-chatted about Babe Ruth was basically the last guy who pitched and hit as well as he did, but inevitably would just go on to hit there. Normally, if you're as good of a hitter as Shohei Ohtani is, we're not wasting any of that in a chance to ruin it with pitching. And if you're as good of a pitcher as you are, Shohei Ohtani, we're not going to blow any of that with having you hit. So he's the first guy, offense, defense, special teams. He's playing every single position on the field. And there was a conversation that maybe he would never get back to pitching because how good he did hitting, how much money they paid him, how well the team did. This feels like maybe he is going to get back to pitching. And how do the baseball people feel about Shohei Ohtani's ability to be able to do both of these things?
I mean, it definitely can be. I'm of the thought that the Dodgers pitching staff is so deep. Like, they went out and got a bunch of starting pitchers. So, like, they don't really need him to pitch per se. And I just always worry when a guy has had issues before. Like, it would suck if Shohei does something to his elbow that kind of to the point where, like, he can't even hit and they lose him for a season and we potentially, like, start to, you know, not saying, like, what could have been, because what he's already done in his career is, you know, like, will probably never be replicated. But I just worry because they're so deep. Like, he's unbelievable, obviously, so it's kind of like I mean, are we really going to, you know, limit what this guy can do because he's unbelievable? But it's also like, he is so good at the plate, too, that do we even want to take the risk of him potentially getting hurt because we have the best pitching staff in baseball, too. We went out and spent a bunch of money on that. Like, they don't necessarily need him to do it, but it's one of those things where it's you got a guy throwing 100 miles an hour. He has nasty stuff. Like, he as a competitor, I'm sure he wants to continue to pitch.
So you two are Yankees guys.
Yes.
Okay, as the coastal elitistness has made its way out here to the Thunderdome, and I hate that we're just part of the problem. You know, just pushing the agenda of the Yankees. Because you know what I heard, D-Butch?
What's that?
Well, the Mets run New York now.
I heard that as well.
Start spreading the news.
No.
We'll see.
No.
Yankees left yesterday.
There is no Sinatra at Citi Field, but they did have.
I saw Jerry Seinfeld there.
He is a Mets fan.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen him there. I seen the trumpets there.
They also got.
He's back.
He's back?
The Rizzler was there.
The Rizzler.
Shit. What are the
Was
odds?
the Rizzler there?
The Rizzler was full Mets here.
That's it. Sold on the Riz.
The Rizzler don't know shit about sports. You see his bracket. Everyone said, "Oh no,
He was
don't
4-0.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he picked St. John's to win the national championship. They didn't even make it to the fucking Sweet
Well,
16.
but
Come on.
But
So did this show. Yeah.
Yeah, we did too. We bet pretty heavily on that. So us and the Rizzler seeing the field the same damn
Maybe,
way.
yeah, we didn't have Yale in the Sweet Six or the Final Four. You know, come on, Rizzler.
He's
Hey,
trying to get an education. He's trying to get in.
pal.
He understands.
Smart.
He's working a little bit.
I don't give a shit if the Rizzler is a fan of the Mets because, once we do the blood sacrifice of Big Boom AJ and his son, the Yankees are back.
Big time.
Who else got a shot outside of the Yankees, Dodgers,
Sox, Red Sox loaded up for the first time in a while.
Phillies will be good.
Yep.
The Braves are always tough.
Pittsburgh Pirates?
Yep.
They could be a dark horse. Yeah. Their pitching staff. If they can stay
Great
healthy.
pitching staff.
Yeah, if they can stay healthy, they will be Skeens. A lot of people picking him to win the Cy Young. So it's for the first time in a long time, you might be keeping a close eye on the Pirates.
Pittsburgh Pirates have a chance.
September. I think
Yeah,
so,
Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens does that to a city, to a franchise, to a team, to a league. Okay, Paul Skeens is coming there humble.
Super
humble. So much moxie.
Military man.
Understands exactly who he is, what he can be, and I think he understands what he means to like the sport of baseball. Definitely to Pittsburgh. He gave a promo in a press conference, I think last week, that was like, the city of Pittsburgh deserves like our team to be good. Like, we're all getting excited about a wild card win. I think we won a wild card game a couple years back. Kutch was on the team, leading the team.
Yep.
And he was like, the Pittsburgh fans still talk about like the wild card game being like the thing. He was like, I respect that, I appreciate that, but that can't be what the standard is. Like, we need to do this. He gave like a motivational speech to the city of Pittsburgh.
Love that.
And I think it's radiated through the Pirates kind of organization. Now, the ownership, always going to take money. Okay, always going to take the money. But I think they're being like publicly forced to kind of do a little bit more maybe. And this other hundo boy, Jones, they feared for the worst. Turns out he's going to be able to get back. The pitching, not only Skeens, they got some pitchers. They got some people that can hit. Look at the Pittsburgh Pirates with the best ballpark in the damn league about to do the damn thing with Paul Skeens.
Boy, I cannot wait until we can get Skeens and some pinstripes.
Right?
I wish we could just fast. That's the unfortunate thing about this
6 years
MLB.
from now, so.
He's got to spend 6 more years in Pittsburgh.
Gotta spend.
He can turn it around. He can
Get
turn the
stuff.
franchise around. Pitching. What do they pitch? Once every 7 days? Once every 5 days. I hate that as well. But I'm wishing you guys the best. But that shit ain't happening.
How your Marlins looking?
Terrible, just as bad. Probably 10 times
They
worse.
got the Buccos game one tomorrow.
That's why the captain.
Big game.
And make sure you guys ask the captain about the Marlins and how shit went down there and why he got.
Yeah, he loves it down there.
Right.
What happened?
A lot of people say that he was like a sleeper agent for the Yankees and kind of got in there, got rid of all the Marlins' best players, traded them to the Yankees, kind of set them back like 15, 20 years, and then fucking got out of Dodge.
It's not true. He was in a can't-win situation.
Yeah, it is
down
not
there,
true, but that's what a lot of people
got out
feel
of
that.
Dodge.
Listen to the 2 Yankees fans go, our captain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wants for another team to work for us.
Stanton.
Yeah, it was awesome at the time. Now, John Carlo, Jesus.
Can't use his arms.
Yeah, can't use his arms.
Guy can't hold a fork.
He's the most jacked guy in the history of humanity, and he fucking can't unzip his pants.
Having trouble
Because
drinking
he
a
needs
cup
to have
of coffee.
surgery on both of his bionic elbows.
Yeah.
He's got a hammy problem now, too.
He swings the bat like 5 miles per hour faster than anybody else in Major League Baseball. I think O'Neal Cruz was second highest. And now he just can't even.
Why? What are you talking about?
His body.
He squeezes the bat so tight that now he can't straighten his arms. That was the report this offseason.
When he makes contact, he hits it like 10,000 miles an hour and hits a homer like every time he makes contact. But when he doesn't, he usually strikes out and tweaks something.
You don't want to see that guy rounded third on his way to home either.
He's so injury prone that they told him last year not to run fast, so he was just jogging around.
Yeah. So it's basically like, hey, if you don't, and even like
this guy's too strong.
Yes.
Can he not dial it back? Has anybody talked to him and just said, hey, bud,
He's too strong.
That's not
They
what
tell
we
him
need.
not to run.
Can't really put the genie back in the
No,
bottle.
I mean, we're talking hitting bombs out to center field that like carry him off the wall, and like he'll jog to first and just stay there. Like, hey, we don't need you legging out a double. We don't, God forbid you try to get to third. We don't need you pulling a hammy.
Is he's healthy to start this season?
No,
he
can't use his arms.
No, yeah,
Squeezing the bat
He
too
literally
tight.
he can't pick up a grain of sand right now.
Hey, Jean, we hope you're okay. We hope you Godspeed on the way back.
He just standing.
He worked too hard. He was too strong.
Yeah.
Too explosive.
Jacked. Was dealing with it in the playoffs and just kept mashing dingers anyway.
Really just need him for the playoffs.
Total.
He's an absolute
And
dog.
with that being said, all this comes from the amount of hard work he puts in.
Yeah.
You don't swing that fast just because you woke up that way.
Exactly.
Granted, there is a gift, but then he's got to work. He's just too jacked, you guys say.
Yeah.
You guys have a player that's too jacked on the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
You have Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Is he was MVP last year?
Yeah, he's won MVP too the last 3 years. A lot of people thinking he may win MVP again because he is unbelievable.
Season hasn't even started. What are they talking about?
Well,
we have no idea.
Kind of the same thing. Like we think there's a good chance Paul Skeens wins Cy Young.
We know that's going to happen.
Shohei.
We'll see.
Skeens is a favorite.
Yeah.
We know Shohei's going to pitch and hit, right? That's going to be sweet.
Yep.
And we know that inevitably, Pittsburgh Pirates start spreading the news
Yeah.
that they are they in the same
No.
as the Yankees?
Nah, it'd be the World Series where they would potentially
So
meet.
you guys would have Russell Wilson.
I believe.
Holy shit.
Yankees Pirates, I believe, are in town when we're in Pittsburgh for Big Night Out. That week, I believe the Yankees are in town.
Okay. So we'll try to make that happen for sure.
That would be sweet.
You think Russ plays or no?
I'll tell you what, we need a third baseman.
So I'm saying he lives in New York now.
Utility guy.
He can do this finally.
This is something, maybe this is why he chose the Giants. You know, maybe there's conversations elsewhere and now he can put
I don't think there was convos elsewhere.
Hasn't been done since prime. I mean, I saw on the internet you guys are in the bind now since he signed with them. So
big
there were
time.
conversations. I don't know what you're privy to.
You're in a bind and way behind.
I'm privy to that the Steelers did not want Russell Wilson back. He wanted to be a Steeler until, he said, well, Giants are really the only team left that wants me. So
when you say the Steelers didn't want him back, that's the fans you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the organization, the fans.
Jeez.
I mean,
Caboli wanted him back, it seems.
Scored too many points against Bengals, and Artie Smith said, hey, stop audibling at the line of scrimmage, tone it down, hand it off to Naj.
Let's talk about the Steelers quarterback situation. The Ohio State Pro Day is happening. Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, and Arthur Smith all in attendance. Guess who they're watching?
The running backs.
Of course. And national champion quarterback Will Howard, who's being compared to
7.
Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, they went to dinner last night with 2 running backs, Trayvon Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and a quarterback, Will Howard.
Love that.
Yeah,
Where'd they go?
Somewhere in Columbus. Probably Chop House. Probably Urban's Chop House.
Nobody was dancing. No. Nobody went to the dance floor. Stayed away from
But no, they took those 3 to dinner last night. It was reported. Huge pro day today. They've brought running backs in. They're going to bring both those running backs from Ohio State, I believe, in for a top 30, and it feels like, Will could be on the board. And I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm down to 2 quarterbacks that I would potentially want for this draft. Number 1 is Jackson Dart. Number 2 is Will Howard. And if it's anyone other than that, I'll be pissed.
Quinn? How's Quinn?
Quinn's a good guy. He's got a great arm. He's got moxie. He's not a Steelers quarterback. Okay.
What team is Quinn Ewers good for, you think? It's not the Steelers.
Like a McVay offense, like a KOC type offense.
Dolphins?
Great with the Fins.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers, we got play action.
We got to be a big boy. We are in the AFC North. We're driving the ball through the wind. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Yeah, we're driving. Now, Will Howard's going to have to throw the ball today.
Yeah.
Like most pro days, nothing bad can happen, right? Most pro days.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this is a choreographed workout.
Exhibition, yep.
This is a routine, basically, that has been practiced. But with what happened at the Combine, the way people were talking about that, Will Howard should throw the ball well today to his people that he'll know. He will throw the ball well, but also, kind of has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, kind of. And if he does, I think he quiets a lot. That happened from the Combine. But if he has a day, I think the NFL posted Quinn Ewers throwing a duck. Did you see that?
They posted a bomb, and then they said, look at the gun, and it was, it went far, but it was not a spiral.
That was a wobble. That was safety corner.
We talk about this.
Literally all night.
We talk about this all the time.
Social media person just sent Quinn Ewers into a fire, literally into a fire. Didn't know ball in that moment. Traveled far, but that looked bad. I think Quinn Ewers did not win from that particular clip, but nonetheless, they say Quinn is a guy and can spin it. We all agree that he can. But Pro Day, I think, matters more now. Yeah, they posted that.
Oh, shit.
I mean, that's a long throw. It looked like a punt.
I didn't know it was that.
Did you see it?
No, this is
I didn't know it was that wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially with the white backdrop. I mean, it looks like it was a punt,
It got there, I guess. Peyton used to throw some ducks that got there. So
there were a lot of touchdown wobbles, too.
Yeah, as long as they get there.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. But who knows if he's throwing every ball like that or if that's just the one ball.
Texas put out another deep throw that was a nice, pretty spiral.
Yeah, because Quinn has that.
Oh, yeah.
He's got that. Quinn's got a good ball, good release. Will Howard, though, I think needs to show that he can throw the NFL ball, I think, personally.
Big pro day for him. Obviously, we talked to him after the national championship, so he didn't go to the Senior Bowl to compete and throw throughout that week in front of evaluators and coaches. So big pro day for him. One of his receivers also, Luka, he ran a pretty good time. And I think will help him probably sneak into that first round running the 4.4. So big day for those Buckeyes.
We're getting some footage here. This is from Chase Brown at Chase A Brown _ Will Howard to Brandon Ennis, and that is in a bucket.
Oh,
okay.
Big boy throw.
Tight spiral there, too. You know, we were actually in a room that was right over attached to this facility that has like 10 recliners, 6 TVs.
It's that window up there.
Yeah, it's right on the, right.
There's a basketball court down there.
Very kind. And there's trophies from the 1910 all the way through now.
Yep.
Littered through that building. They have a showcase room that has, 1,000 trophies.
Give or take.
1,000 trophies.
That's my quarterback.
That's why that's a hell of a ball. That's a big deal for Will Howard, man.
Yeah.
Especially, the only reason why I know that is because how loud I was about Will Howard after watching his playoff run from the sideline and being like, there's the guy. He's big. He can run. His teammates like him. He was making all the biggest plays in the biggest moments. I mean, 3rd and 11, I understand Jeremiah Smith's wide open, but still got to make the play in the national championship to win the game. He did. How much football he has played has been something that a lot of people talk about over the last couple of years for rookies. How much ball do they play in college? He played a lot of football. So I was a big fan. I was very loud about, hey, why is nobody talking about Will Howard? Love the Cam Ward conversation. Love the Shedeur Sanders conversation. Jackson Dart came into the convo a little bit more. We were missing out on that, I think, as well. But I just want to know why nobody was talking about the national champion, Will Howard, who just had a run that was phenomenal. I know he's throwing to great wide receivers, but he was putting the ball in places. Yep. And when the lights were the brightest, he played his absolute best. So I thought, this is a guy. And then the combine happens. Everybody's like, just like we fucking said.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about him. Today could change all of that. And I think when draft comes, somebody's going to love Will Howard. I think somebody's going to love Will Howard.
Agreed. And you saw what Hall of Fame quarterback, quarterback guru, guy knows quarterback. Kurt Warner said that was the greatest 4-game stretch he's ever seen in his entire life.
No, I think he said of the season. I don't think he said of the entire life.
Maybe.
He said any quarterback from the entire season, I think.
Well, okay. Well, he might have said, but he said it was great 4 games.
Well said.
Hey, Will.
Well said.
Oh, so you think Will Howard's going to the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Sign, seal, deliver. He's ours.
Okay, because he went to dinner last night?
Yeah, and they're just standing right behind him saying, they're basically running his workouts.
Oh, so you say it's like whenever Urban Meyer was with Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And when the Chicago Bears were with Caleb.
Yeah.
You're saying like this has been decided, seemingly.
Yeah. Hey, picture this. This QB room. Raji, the goatee Mason Rudolph, and Will Howard.
Bill Howard. Rejuvenated.
Go win a Super Bowl.
Win a Super Bowl.
And then you got the future right there.
Years to come.
Will Howard.
Bang.
I think he'd be a good Pittsburgh Steeler, too.
I think he would, too.
He was throwing 11 o'clock at night in the parking lot, cold.
Oh, he likes to throw to good wide receivers? We got him.
You do. Mm-hmm. And the one changed his number because the other one's going to wear the other number. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought maybe that wouldn't be a tandem or a duo. It sounds like it might be.
14 is GPs. That's his legacy. I'll make mine 4. That's what DK Metcalf said.
After getting paid $30 million a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rich Eisen mentioned it to Cam Hayward. It's a great take. If we would have told you 13 years ago that the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to pay $30 million a year to a wide receiver that has never played for the Pittsburgh Steelers before, what would you say? Mm-hmm. And Cam Hayward was like, we know. We know that it's time. So we got a lot of vets here. They're trying to change it. They're trying to attack it. They're trying to go get it. That's why the Aaron Rodgers conversation is so loud, because it's like you listen to any player talk about Aaron Rodgers and they say, yeah, would be able to go win right now if Aaron Rodgers. You listen to media people talk about Aaron Rodgers, they say, is it worth the
poison?
All that. That's how media, and a lot of fans, think that as well. But you listen to any player, it's like, you get Aaron in here, team's going to be better. Like, that's just how it's going to go. Minnesota still in the game with Aaron Rodgers?
Really?
Are the Pittsburgh Steelers still in the? I don't know. That's what Kwesi, who's the general manager for the Minnesota Vikings, had a press conference today, and he was asked about Aaron Rodgers, and he said, "I never want to be 1,000% on anything," or yada yada yada. But then, here it is. Vikings GM Kwesi Adolfo Mensa confirmed Coach Kevin O'Connell talked with Aaron Rodgers and that Rodgers was a consideration. A player like him is always going to be in those conversations, but from our delineations at that time, we're happy with where we are going forward. Obviously, the caliber of player he is, it had to be a part of our conversation. Then Adolfo Mensa added, right now we're happy. Right now is a big one. We're happy with our quarterback room. On J.J. McCarthy, he said, at every checkpoint, whether it was the draft process or practice until the injury or the offseason now, he's met the bar. So at right now and delineations at the time, it's like we talked about it, we certainly did, we moved on. But never says absolutely not, because I guess there is a moment in time where it could happen and you don't want to have to put your foot in the mouth or have one of those moments. But it's like, is Aaron just waiting on Pittsburgh Steelers and potentially retirement? Is there another team that we haven't heard about potentially that Aaron wants to? What is going on, you think? And people are going to ask us to tell them. I have no fucking idea.
No clue.
I have reached out. We are in the dark. We're in the dark. But also we understand that he's got a lot going on probably mentally, thinking about everything, how it was the last couple of years, what his career was, how Green Bay ended, what he's accomplished, how much money he's made, his philanthropy that he's doing. Obviously he's award-winning and giving back. His experiences, we all know he likes to travel, get out of the country, go do stuff we've never heard of and everything like that. So I wonder what all is being contemplated right now for Aaron.
I mean, the graphic that was just upset, then there was two, but obviously that was probably put together before the Russell Wilson signing in New York. So I can't think of another place outside of Pittsburgh where he'll end up. I know Kwesi, didn't really speak in like,
absolutes.
Hey, absolutes, but it kind of feels like that's JJ's job. JJ McCarthy, I saw him yesterday on my timeline draining a big clutch putt.
Yeah,
saw Dan-O talking about how just impressed he's been with his presence around out there in Mexico. So I think it's JJ's job. You draft him in the top 10. He was obviously look at this butt. What a read!
Wow,
got a little Billy Ho in him.
Good, that was a good
stance was interesting, but he got the job done. But I think they'll start that clock with JJ McCarthy and see if that's really their guy for KOC and the Minnesota Vikings.
Excited to watch it. And the thought of JJ McCarthy being the starter for that Vikings team, it's like, welcome to the NFL. And this is a good situation. And J.J. McCarthy in good situations has performed very well.
Yes, delivered.
He has always delivered. High school, I think he did. College, he obviously did. Dropped in as a freshman. Then he gets given the job over another quarterback who took Michigan to the college football playoff, like in real time. So he's always been a guy. And you listen to like Herb Street talk about him. You listen to other people talk about him. They're like, he's a guy. And he needs to be talked about as if he's a guy. It's like, all right, I'm excited to watch if that's the case, especially with Kevin O'Connell.
Big time. I mean, it is a lot like Will Howard coming out. Like he had that run to win the national championship. I think the one thing that he might be ahead of Will Howard is on the accuracy side. Like he's always, kind of putting it where he wants it, at least in the college game and what we saw in the preseason. I'm excited for him to get this opportunity. I personally believe in J.J. McCarthy and think that he will win at the NFL level, especially with all the talent around him. What about like backup and all that though? Like, are they looking for a veteran anywhere?
Yeah, Tannehill's name was.
Yeah, it's last.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. When you were in Glasgow, we talked about it a bit with.
Schultz saying that Ryan Tannehill's name. They've checked in on him. It's like, where'd Flacco sign?
Nowhere.
He hasn't yet.
He was with the Giants for a second.
He visited.
Yeah.
I mean, Flacco with Kevin O'Connell.
Brissett sign? Jacoby?
Where did Jacoby?
No, Jacoby's still free agent.
Okay, I remember it was conversations.
Yeah, wasn't there like 7?
Yeah.
No, New England, right?
No, that's Dobbs. and
Josh Dobbs, yeah.
And Milton.
Jacoby, where was Jacoby? Wasn't there link? Was it Colts?
He was linked somewhere and had conversations somewhere. I just
Cardinals.
remember his name.
We just put some things up. I guess the Cardinals. Was it the Colts?
He signed with the Cardinals.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I thought we talked about him. Johnny,
What was that?
Quarterback signs with the Cardinals. That must have been in that week, free agency week. Must have been.
Yeah.
Go down, scroll down. March 11th.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
We should have known this. Hey, Jacoby, we appreciate you, man. Good luck over there in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful city over there.
Yeah.
Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
What a place. Okay, Russell's there. Stefan's there. LeBronversation's at. Trey Hendrickson. TGL, Billy Ho. Billy Ho in Atlanta.
Yep.
Big putt.
Congratulations.
Got a championship.
Yeah, he did.
That was awesome. Congrats to them. They had their championship. Now, we don't know how the ratings did throughout the entire season, but we do know whenever there's big moments and a big play is made, we will celebrate the hell out of that. Look at that celebration. First ever TGL champion. Are you not entertained?
Love the juice.
Are you not? I'm the fucking guy. Congratulations to Atlanta getting a huge win. What a putt.
Yeah.
You never do that on an outdoor in actual golf. You never have a full throw and a hat toss.
Sure. Yep.
I'm the fucking guy, anything like that. Feels like in that arena, in that setting, there is a little bit more juice, a little bit more electricity. You watch every single week.
Not every single week.
You watch
every
single
it was
week.
tough to keep up because they changed, days of the week and the times. But I tell you what, when it was like, random Tuesday night or even last night, like it was electric. I think this is it's kind of what golf needed, a part of what golf needed. Obviously, we need the best players playing against the best players more often, but for this to be something, especially for somebody that's new to golf, only been watching it and playing it for 2 years, like just the pace that they play. You talk about the personality, seeing more of their personalities, more of the juice, more shit talk, seeing, because obviously these guys all know each other. So the way that they talk, but most importantly, the pace of playing in the moments, the heightened moments, the people in the crowd. I think it'll continue to grow. This is the first year, I'm sure the ratings, up, they've been probably down since that Tiger-Rory matchup. But I think if they get a schedule and we know the teams and the players, I think it'll find some legs for sure.
I was just reminded, Billy Ho drains that massive putt for that big moment to, kind of put a stamp on the end of that TGL first season. Do you know that Billy Ho had Ty Schmidt blocked on Twitter?
Oh, I forgot. Long time. Yeah. Long time.
Forgot about years.
What happened?
This was year.
Billy Ho got beat?
I think Ty's tweet was that he always pisses down his leg in the big
something like that.
in the big moment.
And he blocked you?
He blocked
Oh
me.
yeah, with the quickness. He said, "I don't got time for this shit today. Fuck this guy." And rightfully so. But we put that to bed.
And then you put it to bed when he came on the show.
Yep.
But him making that massive putt right there.
Forgot all about that.
Nick obviously was at the back going, hey, do you remember Billy Ho had Ty blocked for saying he always chokes or whatever? And then literally I was remembering you guys did put that to me.
We did. We put the.
And he unblocked you, right?
He did unblock me.
Okay.
Yes, I appreciate that.
He was kind of telling me, some of his stories, so I became even more of a fan of.
Yeah, blue collar dude.
Yeah.
Blue collar golfer.
Well, I didn't know any of that stuff either at the time. I just figured, this is prep school rich prick. Fuck, I hate this guy. Fuck this guy. And then he comes on the show and was like, you know what? I shouldn't have been hating this guy.
May 21st, 2017, Ty Schmidt says, hey, Riggs, what are the odds old Billy Ho shits down his leg and chokes down the stretch today?
It's a simple question.
6 retweets at the time.
Simple question.
19 likes. Billy Ho saw it and said, fuck this guy.
Yep. Bingo.
I think Billy Ho bookmarked it.
He might have.
They were able to put it to bed, though.
I love it.
And by the way, Billy Ho, complete opposite last night.
Yeah.
Championship putt.
Yeah.
Good for him. Yeah, he was good on the show. Because that was whenever Liv was making massive offers for people.
Yes.
And he stayed with PGA. And we learned his story. It was like, hey, you're like a blue-collar dude, like $100 million. And he talked about, legacy, wanted to play in the best tournaments and everything like that. Loves the game. I think very appreciative of the game. So him having that moment last night was dope. That was cool. I haven't followed as closely because, to your point, when's it on? When was it on?
Foxy probably watched a little more than me.
He watched everyone.
Yeah, so the issue is we didn't know when it was on. And then if you guys remember at the beginning of the season, all of them were blowouts. The first 3 weeks, it wasn't even a close match every single time. And what they did is they changed the hammer rule. Before,
hammer format,
the hammer went back and forth, and it didn't really do anything. Then they changed it mid-season to where each team got 3 hammers, and it changed everything. Every match after that was very close, exciting. I enjoyed it, but to your point, it was very hard to find. Sometimes it was on ESPN2, sometimes it was at 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It was very random, so...
Yeah, there was moments, which I think all you're looking for in sports. I'm not going to get into it. No, it's not time.
Yeah.
It's a great day here.
It is a great day. It's a great day.
I
know what you're going to say.
Yeah, I know.
I'm bummed out about it, too, to be honest.
They throw Matt Berry in, one man that thing. What sport have you ever seen just one person up in a tower being able to just
very difficult task.
Impossible.
Yes.
You're putting Matt Berry in the tower. Then they had Marty. I'm not getting into it all, but I think there's a lot of opportunity with TGL. I hope they continue to do it. I hope that is the case. And I hope they, like you said, they changed the hammer rule. They changed it. I think they were trying to figure it out, too, throughout the season.
Right.
So good luck to all parties down there.
Oh, yeah.
TGL. Ovechkin's only 6 goals away from catching Waino and breaking Waino's record. How many games are left, Nick?
I believe he has 11 left for him to be able to pull this off.
11 games left, needs to score 6 after scoring another goal. Alexander Ovechkin, an absolute dog. Goes by Ovi, and also is going to be remembered as the greatest goal scorer in the history of the NHL. Has to score 6 more times in 11 games. For people that don't follow hockey, yes, that would be a very impressive run. And yes, he would be able to accomplish that. He's already had a couple of those runs this season. A lot of people thought him catching this record would take multiple years, and instead he just showed up and just scored basically every single game that he played to start the season. Then he was out for a couple of weeks, and then he got right back into ripping net. And this is history in the making. Wayne Gretzky, obviously the greatest of all time. He has the most goals in the history as well, and then assists as well. So he just was great at everything. Ovi will go down as the greatest goal scorer of all time, and 6 goals from now, it'll be justified. Nick, how's everybody kind of covering this? Capitals also number 1 in the East too, right? I mean, their team also going to go on and win this whole damn thing potentially.
Yeah, and it's crazy because this has kind of overshadowed the team's success. Not in a negative way, but the team is dominating. They are cruising through this regular season, and it reminds you of the Capitals teams of old. They always finish first. They get these President's Trophy runs, and they had these early bow-outs in the playoffs. But this team feels different. They're inspired by this OV magical run here, and if he pulls this off this season, and then they go into the playoffs, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Tom Wilson, still on their team?
Yeah, still a menace.
Still a problem. Tom Wilson's
always
a problem. Tom Wilson's a problem.
Yeah.
Always has been. So handsome, too.
Yeah.
Just like so handsome. And then just, well, I hate that guy if you're on any other team. But if you're the Capitals, got to be the most beloved player probably in their building. I mean, Ovi, I would assume, for everything he's done. But Tom Wilson has to be beloved by that entire place. He's a problem. He's a menace. And he'll stick this right in your ear hole.
Yeah. Little chicken wing.
And you'll have to think about that for the entire game. What was it, the fight? When who was the full fight? Was it the Capitals or was it the Bolts? Who was the team that Rangers maybe or the Islanders?
It was Rangers. It was the Rangers and somebody. It was definitely the Rangers.
When
they all dropped mitts right at the start.
Yeah, they had to fight. Remember, something happened.
Yeah. I think Tom Wilson was just embarrassing our entire franchise, so we just took a stand and dropped the mitts all at once.
Who was it?
Devils and the Rangers.
Okay, so it wasn't Tom. So it was Devils, Rangers.
No, that happened with the Devils and the Rangers. This also happened with the Capitals and the Rangers because of Tom Wilson, what he did to the bread man, Artemi Panarin.
Okay, so I'm remembering that.
And then, guys just kept lining up, and he kept knocking them down.
Yeah, it turned into a Tom Wilson show.
Yeah.
When really it was supposed to be a get back by the Rangers.
Yep.
And everybody just had to be like, I got to go fight this guy.
They went and signed Ryan Reeves, like a big enforcer dude, just to combat Tom Wilson, and then they built Rempe in a lab, so now we're good forever.
How's Rempe doing? Hasn't been a lot of Empire State Building conversation.
He's trying to play real hockey, like pass the puck, shoot the puck, stand in front of the net, and, maybe deflect it in a little bit, but he still gets penalties just for being gigantic. He'll just be skating around, minding his own business. Maybe his elbow gets up a little bit, and he just nails somebody right in the mouth, and then he gets suspended for 8 games and shit. So he's working through it. He's got to get the target off his back a little bit more, I'd say.
That's never going to happen because how we got introduced to him, and I think a lot of people were introduced to hockey maybe for a while, is that this guy in Madison Square Garden, since his beginning of being a Ranger, would stand in the middle of MSG and he would throw bombs at people. And it was like, we love this guy. He was a great fighter. He was built for it. He's big. And a lot of attention was drawn to him. So that got every other fighter on every other team go, oh, you're the Empire State Building, huh? Okay, I know you had a fight last night. Well, guess what? There's another one coming tonight, and it became must-watch, must-see, and haven't heard about it as much of it this year. Makes sense he doesn't want to just be known as the face mask whacker guy.
Yeah, well, he just can't be, in the penalty box giving up power plays every time he steps out there. Also, I think he spent this offseason, actually just boxing and, fighting.
All the fighters do that.
Yeah. So now I think people are a little wary about trying the young lad.
Let's understand, though, that there's still one name synonymous with greatness in the NHL.
Yep.
And although the team might not be having its best year, Sidney Crosby's still doing it. 37 years old. Pittsburgh Penguin legend. First in the NHL in 5v5 scoring. So whenever everything's fair, okay,
balanced,
he's better than everybody. Do you know that?
Of course I did.
No, you haven't been talking about it enough. 2 points away from a record-breaking 20th point per game season. Are you kidding me? Close to 57% from the faceoff dot. What?
Good.
57%.
A little respect, D-Butts.
That's right.
Shitting me?
Yeah, like fine wine, they're saying here at Bleacher Report, which we couldn't emphasize more.
Oh, that's what we should have. We should ask LeBron, hey, maybe put some money into the Pens. Fenway Sports Group.
Next time. Will there be a next time? Fascinating question.
You guys still packing out the house?
Yeah.
Shit.
The Penguins?
Yeah.
Sell it every night.
It was the last highlights we shoot.
No, sell it every
Don't
night.
you worry. They got a lot of draft picks. It's going to be a big offseason.
Oh, draft picks.
You can trade those picks for players.
Okay, you need to stop.
Yep, I said it.
It's big night out, and they're still filling it up.
Okay.
They're still filling
Another late season melt by the Red Wings,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
we stink. We just keep losing and losing and losing. They get our hopes up. They say we're making the playoffs first time since like 17. The first 23 years of my life, the Red Wings made the playoffs every single year. It's one of the longest active streaks in any sport ever. And then they haven't made it since, and now they're not going to make it again because they keep losing. It's
I thought
insane.
you guys were back. Remember Stevie I?
Stevie Y.
The
I know.
eyes are planned.
People
Not
are getting sick of
working.
it. I love him, so he can stay as long as he wants. They fired the coach like really early in the season, and then they went on this run. They won 1 million games in a row, and then they stink again.
Oh, so Hockey Town is currently floating around.
It's terrible. But
Where's it at? Where's it at right now? Washington, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe the Bruins.
No, still down there.
The Bruins are horrendous
Atlantic.
now, too.
What are you saying? South Florida?
Yeah, Atlantic Division, Atlantic Ocean, right down there in that area.
Not without Chuck E. Cheese.
Still
on
There
the
are
ice,
some rumblings.
brother.
Brad Marchand will make his debut for the Florida Panthers on Friday.
Whoa.
He hasn't played yet?
No, he's been hurt.
I thought I saw him skating on Boston's ice immediately after.
Just had like a skate with the boys, just practicing, warming up and stuff.
Oh, so he has not played for
He
the
has not
Panthers?
played yet.
Oh, my. They said he jumped in the group chat and just started roasting people. They
That's
say
what
he's
he
going to be
does.
a great piece.
Classic Marshy.
Is that you saying you guys are Hockey Town?
Yeah, right now.
Hockey Beach?
Yep. Everyone call it.
Hockey
is
Beach,
pretty
I
cool.
like that.
Or visit.
Beach is pretty
I'd
sweet.
go there.
Yeah.
Going down to Hockey Beach down there. Sunrise, Florida? Is that the area?
Sunrise, Florida. Yep.
How's that go? Miami? Lauderdale?
Yep.
Sunrise?
Sunrise is kind of Sunrise would be like Carmel, Lawrence, in Indianapolis.
Of Lauderdale?
So Fort Lauderdale would be Indianapolis. Carmel would be like Sunrise.
Miami's down at the bottom.
Miami's at the bottom.
Fort Lauderdale up right.
Yep, that's Broward County. So that's Fort Lauderdale. Let's say Hollywood, like Fort Lauderdale Airport.
Okay.
It's in between Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
So Miami, Hollywood, Fort Lauderdale. Then let's say like Boca, Palm Beach.
Here we go.
Jupiter.
And it's in Sunrise.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it is still
So it's a little west.
South Florida.
Yeah,
It's kind of
still South
the
Florida.
ownership group.
Exactly. So if you're looking Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, kind of that area, and just head a little west.
Sunrise
Yep.
right
so you
there.
head west. Yep.
Yeah, got it. Okay. And that's Hockey Town.
That's Hockey Town.
Hockey Beach.
Hockey Beach.
Well, it's inland, brother.
Yeah. So they just hopped on Sunrise Boulevard, took it all the way east, and then you run right into Elbow Room.
I miss
Really?
Elbow. I miss Elbow Room.
Did you go?
I went 3 days in a row when I was doing it.
You said you didn't think you were going to go because it was so packed out.
Yeah,
or whatever.
night one I took that picture, put it on the story. You DM'd me. I said it was too packed to go in. Night 2, 3, 4, or not day 2, 3, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's always packed, brother. That's Elbow Room. Like,
Yeah.
you just got to get in there.
We got there early. We posted up. Yeah.
Yeah, smart. You get your play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everybody's joining your party.
Come on in.
Yeah. Welcome to the Elbow Room.
Love it there.
Did you tell them?
Nope.
Did they know who you were?
No.
Okay, so you were able to just do your thing in there.
Bought some merch, even though they sent us a bunch. But I bought a new hoodie down there. Yeah.
That became the hockey room.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
It became the hockey room. Here's the live cam down there at the Elbow Room. Obviously having a good time down there. I'm surprised Lord Stanley isn't in that man's pocket right there walking through. Congrats to all the boys down there having a day. Having a day. All right. The LeBronversation Wednesday that we had here will be one that we talk about for a long, long time. Shout out to LeBron doing that. We're going to gather the LeBronversation tweets. We realized that would have been an impossible task to do during the break. So we'll run those tomorrow.
Okay.
And that'll help us out for tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, opening day for the MLB, we'll have Derek Jeter joining us.
Let's go.
We'll also be chit-chatting about everything else that's happening around sports. In the back, great work, boys.
Work, boys.
Graphic department, way to go. Way to go.
Work, boys.
Boys, good work.
Hell yeah.
Good work, boys.
Good work, boys. Good work. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.